What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's number one urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it is Monday morning. Oh my goodness, so much in the world of sports been happening in the world of everything, entertainment. You know, they had I think the BET Awards last night, and a lot of my friends, because I didn't get a chance to see it, I taped it. Then I woke up in the middle of the night and watched some of it, and everybody was talking about how bad it was, and I wanted to hear y'all takes. So, was it that bad? I want to hear y'all takes. What's up? What's up, the CEO Jackson? I saw you on the road exposing all of those. I'm talking to Clyde Jackson, exposing all these ladies with these bonnets on your head. Keep it up, Clyde, because I mean, come on, man. Come on, y'all. When you go outdoors, my mama just talked. When you go outside, man, you look nice. What's up, everybody? Let me shout out to my starting five, man. Let me talk to my people because I miss y'all. Miss y'all. Daryl Barnes, where you been, baby? I got Daryl Barnes. I got Mindy Collins. Mindy, what's going on, Mindy? We looking good with the Suns, Mindy. Marissa Smith. Thaddeus Moody. Shout out to Thaddeus Moody. I'm going to talk about him a little bit. Melvin Dews. Those are my starting five. And my sixth man today is Walter Yates. I think I can remember. I can say something about Walter today, right, ladies? It ain't women, Rob. Yeah, Walter Yates. What's up, baby? What's up, Walter? I got you today, big guy. So let me go down and holler at everybody. What's up, Will? Kevin Allen is in the building. Kevin Allen, man. Hey, share the show right now because I need everybody on this show, especially if you're from Houston. I need everybody because I got a question. I got a question, and I don't want to be repeating it later. I might wait till a little bit later, but I need y'all to share the show right now. And if you are, I don't know if you are Will Johnson. I see you on the Facebook feed. Do me a favor, go over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page also, so you can have. So if stuff happening on Facebook we can't get you can get the show on YouTube. Hey Sonia, hey Anissa, Brandy, Corey Willis, Garrison Claire, Jonathan Griffin. Jonathan, I ain't seen you in a while. Daryl Anderson. Let me see. Thaddeus Moody. Thaddeus Moody was up in Chicago, had his Chop Shop shirt on, taking pictures with everybody. I mean, he was up there. Thank you so much, Thad Moody. Man, my heart go out to you when you represent like that up in Chicago. A lot of great things was happening in Chicago this weekend. The combine. It's just a lot of stuff was going on. And Daryl Barnes said, he said, you sorry he fell off the rail. Oh, he been in Jamaica and Boston. Hey, let me tell you something. When you're in Jamaica and Boston and going to Harvard and doing that with your daughter, I understand you ain't got time because a lot of that stuff happens when you have to meet with these people at these colleges around this time of the day. Let's see. Hey, Mate, y'all, what interesting to y'all happened over the weekend? I'm just curious. You know, I like to hear what y'all. What's up? Oh, Nelson Brand is in the building. Hey, y'all. Oh, hold up, y'all. Cause when I get Rick Nelson on here, I got this. Cause he be so busy. You know, and there go Karen Thomas. When I see Karen Thomas' name pop up, it lightens up my day. Wesley Yates Jr. Wesley Yates III had a great weekend, I heard. Oh my God. Hey, let me tell y'all something. Man, I'm just so proud of these little kids, man. I mean, you know, I'm not that entrenched in the youth basketball. I do whatever I can to help them. But as for me going to every game and doing this stuff as a business, like Doug and Jimmy, that's their business. Robert Hatter is just a passion for me. So I don't know, but I see kids like Wesley Yates that we've been talking about on this show for years and years, and Kenneth Lofton talking about this on this show for years. And these young kids just grow up
right before our eyes. And y'all don't understand it. And I know Wesley, you his dad, but I'm just as proud, Doc. Uh, I'm just as proud. Uh, Chris Charles said Timmy Penny is a top candidate for the Magic job. Yes, he is. Happened very quickly. Um, I'll talk about that a little bit. I'll talk about them. I got to turn off my devices, y'all. I'm getting like y'all. Got my devices on, everything. Great thing, great thing for Penny. Hey, Jessica Brooks. Uh, uh, I ain't got to look out. I also hear a lot of Memphis folk begging him to stay. No, it's okay. Y'all got to realize. Y'all got. Let me give y'all a story about Penny Hardaway. Hey, Sonya. Let me. He he wasn't trying to get the Memphis job. It just happened. I repeat that. Because we got a lot of, there's a lot of coaches who was around talking about what's the guy, Tubby Smith. He backdoored Tubby Smith and all that. Let me tell y'all something. The man wasn't even thinking about that. Hey, Archie, the man was not even thinking about being a coach of Memphis. He was all right. Y'all got to understand, this man had a great life, multimillionaire, giving back to the community. I mean, just Team Penny will put them on the map. And then the Tubby stuff happened, and he happened. If y'all been on the show long enough, y'all know I can tell you the story. Memphis wasn't looking at Penny to be the coach. They wanted to keep Tubby because they owed him $10 million. And if y'all know anything about Memphis, they don't want to pay no black man no $10 million to just go away. I'm just telling you, that's where I'm from. But they did. Wait a minute. I told him, can I get the hey, let me tell you something. A lot of people saw Penny this weekend, but let me finish the Penny story. So this Orlando Magic thing just happened. You got a couple of young kids on the team that Penny has helped. I see you out there. Our special guest, Chris Walker's in the green room. Go get dressed, Chris. They putting on his makeup. But it's so unique, y'all. RJ Hampton. Hey, y'all need to what's the guy? Bacon. A few more other guys said, man, you need to look at Penny. Players have power in this league. Damon, what his name? What's it? Damian Lillard. Man, I want Jason Kidd. I want Chauncey Billups to be the coach. Jason went to Dallas. Chauncey is at Portland. These players, y'all, I keep telling y'all how much power that the players have, and parents, how much power you have. Now, don't abuse your powers, parents, but as a collective, that's why I'm going to keep preaching collective, because we're going to learn something. We're going to be a unit. This Chop Shop going to be a space, a safe space where we can come and argue, we can disagree, we can debate. But when it comes to us, it's going to be us against everybody. I'm telling y'all. So let me see. Archie said he going back to YouTube. Y'all get too round. No, it's all right. It's all right, Archie. It's all right. Let me see. Chris, I'm going to bring you in. Let me look at Penny. Looks like he's on the move, Robert Hatter. You said he had no. I'm not going to tell you everything, Herb. And don't hold me to opinions of yesterday. As when I talked to you, Herb Baker, Penny was not interested. Can't tell you everything. You ain't in that room. But as of that day, come on, y'all. He loved college basketball. But guess what? Like I told you, if you heard the story, he wasn't thinking about coaching at Memphis. Wasn't thinking about it. Somebody else met Penny this weekend, Archie Young. Yeah. Of course. Had a great conversation with him last night. But let me tell y'all something, man. It's things change, man. Things change, man. Y'all don't understand. Maybe when y'all start getting in these situations like this,
And that's why I'm trying to get all of us so we can be in positions where we can sit back and set. We can sit back and pick and choose. Herb, I hope one day I you be in a position I don't tell everything about what your position is and what you're doing. I can't tell you everything, y'all. I mean, come on. That's why we've been friends for 30 years. Because I'm not going to tell it unless he want it told. But of course, this thing happened. This is first thing he said. Rob, can you imagine? This is where we started from. Chris, I'm going to bring you in. He said, Rob, this is where we started. He even said, I'm going back to stay. If I do take the job, you know where I'm going to stay. Back in our old neighborhood. Our work. He said, because I said, I suggested a new area to him. He said, no, I don't like the houses over there. I like the house. I mean, we just talking last night. But it's just such a unique thing. And Chris, I even had to hold it from Chris. Chris, I know he was in Chicago this week while you was up there, Penny Woods. That's where he met with the Brass. I didn't even tell you.
Right.
Because why? It wasn't everybody's business yet. But Chris, it's a unique moment in basketball. I'm just so excited to be able to talk about. Think about this, y'all. The Dallas Mavericks has hired two friends of mine. One of them, me and my daughter had to spend the night at his house. I'm talking about Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison about to go and work for the Dallas Cowboys. My daughter called me last night. Dad, I remember when me and you stayed at Jason's house. I said, yes. I mean, this is long. She was a little girl then. And but it's just, Chris, let me tell you something, man. This thing has come, I can't say full circle, but Chris, I started this business 30 years ago.
Right.
And now, guys that I've had influence over and influence with, they are in positions of power.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
A good thing.
Great thing. I mean, everybody on this show should be proud, because if it can happen to them, and hold up, Chris, and I'm influencing your sons and your daughters right now, it can happen to them. Let me repeat that.
But how do you see what they tried to do, though?
Come on.
See what they tried to do. That
with Chauncey? Talking about with Chauncey?
Well, not just Chauncey.
With Jay? Too. Yeah.
See what they tried to do. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Chris, I've been knowing Chauncey.
That article, that's all we talked about up in Chicago. It was a hit job. Oh my. And then one dude wrote an article, says, hey man, and Damian Lillard, if he on board with it, tell him he can go too.
Yeah.
I'm like, Damian Lillard like, hold on, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not picking the coach.
And Chris, explain what you're saying, because some people might not be. Go and explain what you're talking about.
There's several theories going around because everybody know who the owner is. Paul Allen died. Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong, how the daughter is running the show. Mm-hmm. Joey Allen. Mm-hmm. She wants Becky Hammon. That's the word. Mm-hmm. Or she wanted Becky Hammon. Mm-hmm. So in order to make that happen, there's another person, I don't want to say his name, that says that there was a hatchet job saying people knew the favorite was Chauncey. And if you discredited Chauncey and you said it came down to Becky and Chauncey's discredited, who gets the job by default? Becky Hammon.
Right.
Everybody thought it was actually going to be Jason Kidd. Mm-hmm. But then they brought out stuff Jumana said. I mean, they made sure that had zero chance.
And Jason turned that job down before it even happened, Chris.
But because he probably had got wind of what they were going to try to do to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they also talking about, I mean, I'm jumping around, the shade that Carlisle did with Mosley. Jamal Mosley.
Yes. Tell him who Jamal Mosley is.
Jamal Mosley is assistant coach for the Mavericks. He's been there like 10 years, right? At least.
Right.
Been up for interview for several jobs. Actually, you talked about Penny in Orlando. He got permission from Dallas to be interviewed by Orlando, but he's been a guy that everybody's been talking about for a long time. have an opportunity to be a head coach, right?
Yes.
And it's just insane the way that whole thing played out. He ended up getting a 5-year deal, and what they said was they had already done the research already on the deal in Boston. Somebody had something that happened in his rookie year, 1997. Again, doesn't absolve him for what happened, Antoine Walker, the whole nine. But here's the crazy thing, Hatter. And I'm sitting with personnel from about 5 teams at dinner, right? All African American, obviously, saying, hold on, man, let me get this right. No one's saying we agree with what happened. So I don't want anybody, because I know that Chop Shop's worldwide, and no one's going to put that jacket on me.
Right.
Let me get this right. Going to be in the Hall of Fame. ESPN hired him. Has worked for other teams. They want to hire him as GM and all that kind of stuff.
Interviewing him as GMs. But keep going.
Interviewed him as GM, coach for the Clippers, and now he's about to get a head job. We're bringing up 1997. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah.
So the worldwide leader in sports hired him.
But Chris, help me.
I mean, I'm sitting there going like, wow.
Chris, over the last 3 months, I've been trying to educate this audience on its 2 structures out here. It's the social structure. I remember you looked at me like time and said, what, Robert? The social structure is how they see us, and the governing structure is how we see each other. That's why Robert Hatter, no matter what, Doc ain't Shock Rivers. I don't care, and I know you be kidding and messing around, but I can't afford to say that about Doc Rivers because I know what's going to happen. I can't afford to say that about Jason Kidd because I know what's going to happen if I'm talking about these guys. See, I remember I told you,
that's a little different, though.
Hold on. No. The governing structure is how we see each other. That's how I see Doc. No matter what nobody else said, that's how I see Jason. I know who Jason Kidd is. And I know he shouldn't have did what he did to his wife. Let me tell you something.
Right.
Absolute, unbelievable. But guess what?
But there's certain jobs where you can't have bad days. A pilot can't have a bad day.
A pilot can't have a bad day.
He can't have a bad day.
But a college coach,
yes.
Hold up, a coach can have a bad day.
Yes, he can.
He can have a bad day. And,
to a degree, but coach, but you know what I'm saying. A pastor
But Chauncey Billups, as attached as I've been to this game, and I know this guy. I know his friends who were spending the weekend, the summer at his house. I heard about this so vaguely back then that I can't. Listen to me, man. Y'all got to hear this. For the last 30 years, I know this man and the people around him. I really didn't know. I forgot. Listen to me. I forgot about it. It was so hush-hush back then.
No doubt.
For them to be able to. And Chris, that's a great take about the owner's daughter wanting a woman, because she says she's going to empower women. She said that when even she took over.
100%.
So
and I got some crazy dirt about Becky Hammond, but keep going though.
Yeah. hey, guess what? So what I'm talking about, Chris, and Chris, I'm glad you called in today. I didn't know you was going. I didn't know how deep we was going to get into this, but I'm just so proud. Think about it, Chris. Penny might get the Orlando job. Sam is in the running. Sam Cassell is in the running for the Washington Wizards job. Chris, that's four guys that's been in my influence, in my sphere of influence. That, man, it's just, I guess.
Hatter, what did I tell you a long time ago? We got how many year window? We got a 3-year window. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, you said that. We
got a 3-year window.
Come on.
We're going to have to take advantage of every opportunity that's thrown our way, because it ain't never been this. This is our form of sports reparation right here, right? Because it's never been like this.
Chris, hold a footnote there. I just want, Walter Yates just put some erroneous on the feed. That happened, it wasn't in Colorado, Walter. It happened in Boston.
No, he's talking about Kobe. I think he's talking about
No,
Kobe.
he talking about Mr. Big. He talking about Big Shot. We know about Kobe.
Oh, I mean, how's he getting that wrong? Yeah.
Some lying white and was acquitted. No, no, it's happened. Antoine Walker was involved because it was his house. Was supposedly the girl was going. It's Ron Mercer was involved. Go. That ain't the same one, Alfred. I mean, Walt. I'm just helping you out, baby. No, baby. Go. No. This ain't that. That ain't it. That ain't it. I'm just telling
Oh,
you.
this is something different in
That's
the
something
league.
different, Walter. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
And stop putting that out there, Walter.
Yeah, don't even put that out there.
Don't even
He
put
was
that out there, man.
19. Hold up. He was 19 at the Boston Celtics, man.
Don't put that out there, man.
Come on, Walter.
Put that
But
out
come on, Chris. I mean, come on, finish what you were saying. I
No,
just
no,
didn't
no.
want no bad dope to be
No,
floating
no,
on
no,
the
no. I
Facebook
get what
feed.
you're saying, but even
Yeah.
somebody said, and again, what it does is, and I'm not saying it's the indictment on African American males, because it's always that type of mercenary type by the media,
Yes.
by the way, which
Yes.
is 99% of the other culture,
Yes.
right? Finding a way, right, to take us down when they're gonna vote this dude in the Hall of Fame, and then now this dude got a chance to be a head coach, and oh no, man, he don't deserve it. But Steve Kerr did, and Steve Nash did, and I'm not even chopping up Steve Kerr and Steve Nash.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know. So, and my thing is, and basketball is more forward thinking than football could ever be, because in football, Eric Bieniemy not being the head coach yet, that would never happen in basketball.
But let me help you out.
Crazy.
Let me help you out just a little bit, Chris. I want to interject something. Chris, I'm finna bust your bubble. They forward thinking, basketball is, but let me tell you right now, it's some people in NBA offices right now that in front offices right now that hang out with your homeboy down there in Florida. I give you their names off air because I don't want to say nothing, because one of them is involved.
My homeboy in Florida. Who you talking about?
Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Come on, we all know
Donald
that.
Trump.
We all know.
Listen to me, man.
All you Patriot fans. Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll put it like that. So they still think like that. Y'all got to realize.
I agree.
Hold on, Chris.
I agree.
Chris. It's some people say, man. No, not Penny. Not Penny for this job. All he done did for the Orlando Magic. In the beginning, Chris, see, I'm going to take y'all behind the curtain. Now they putting out all this propaganda. Oh, Penny, front runner. But not in the beginning. Not in the beginning.
But see, you always got to think about it this way. As I said with the because I've been involved with jobs before, and you think about it, when you out there in the combine, you got to make a true decision, right? And I had to learn this a long time ago when I was a coach. I used to be the guy that hung out all the time and knew where when I was a young coach, I knew where the clubs was. Hey man, this is where we want to go. And you trying to ingratiate yourself to the older guys, the older guard, because you want to take you under their wing. But then when I would try to get a job, guess what people would say? Oh man, you don't want to hire him. He like to hang out too much. I'm like, hold on, man. Like y'all out with me. I'm looking after y'all, taking care of y'all. And then when I try to get a job, y'all would say, oh, you got to watch him. He likes to party too much. He likes to do this. So I learned a very valuable lesson as a young coach. Like, you know what? The same way you talking about these guys with Penny. I don't put my business out there. Keep my stuff low key. I act professional as professional. When it's time to hang out, I know exactly who I need to hang out with and where I need to be, because not only will those guys cut you, when they trying to help their buddies will cut you. So
Chris,
you don't never know where. It ain't always. Sometimes it's friendly fire. People say, hey, man, I'm not worried about my enemies, Hatter. Guess who I'm worried about? My friends.
So-called friends.
My friends.
And let me help you out, Chris. What I love about this, little tidbits I can share with y'all. Penny wasn't coming to Chicago if they wasn't serious. He wasn't going to get on that plane. He was going to head to Dallas. He wasn't coming. Chris, the man put on one of them suits and walked in there looking like the GM or the president of the Magic when he showed up at this meeting.
But Hatter, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Is what I've always told people. Again, I always tell people not pro-black, proud black, right? I honestly believe that a lot of these young men in college basketball need to be coached more by black coaches. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. The areas that they come from, they go to a PWI with predominantly white people and they got a white coach. Some of them never been coached by a white coach in their life. It's an adjustment like you wouldn't believe. And that is what the NBA is doing, because look at the league. I was at the Combine this week.
Talk to
It
me.
was 50, brother. It was 50 players playing. I'm not counting the guys that think they're going to get drafted and not participate in the stuff. Do you know it was only 3 white kids playing out of the 50? It was Matt Hurt from Duke.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say 4 because one was European. Matt Hurt from Duke, who needed to take his ass back to school.
Okay.
Austin Reeves from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I saw him.
No chance. Period. Pole man's Luka Doncic. And the other who was the other one? Pole man Luka Doncic. But got some talent, but a pole man, pole man.
Okay.
I take the back. It was 4 guys. Sam Hauser from Virginia.
Okay.
And the kid Wieskamp from Iowa.
Wieskamp.
Who everybody liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, you look at it, and these dudes can play. They can play. Here's my thing. When people say that white kids can't play, they out of their damn mind. They out of their mind.
Yeah.
They just don't pick them. Do you know that in the NBA?
Wait a minute. Whoa. We can't gloss over what you just said. You just said these white guys, it can play, and I test to it. I know they can play. But you said they owned people, don't pick them?
Don't pick them. What they do is they go to Europe.
Okay.
There's only 39 white American-born players in the NBA right now. Out of 450.
Okay.
They don't pick them. There's more European white players than white players.
Wow.
More American-born.
Wow.
So when people say, the league, again, I don't want to get at this thing about LeBron and Mike, and I'll tell you about those discussions too amongst all the GMs and stuff and all the people I met, is that the game is far different because when Mike played, guess what was not there? The global aspect.
Yes.
It was very different back then.
Yeah.
Far more American players. Today, far more global players.
Wow.
Very different dynamic. Again, not saying one thing and the other.
Right.
Very different dynamic. There was no Jokic. You know what I mean? There was no Gallinari.
Right.
You might have seen Kukoc.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Dirk was even playing back then. Like, the game has a far more of a – there was no way a Compazzo would even play back then, bro. There was no Serge Ibaka.
Right.
Think about the Clippers, dog. Think about the Clippers. If the Clippers had Kawhi Leonard and Serge Ibaka, they're the NBA champions.
Yeah.
I mean, Serge Ibaka, Clint Capella, them dudes didn't exist. It was Olajuwon, and Olajuwon played in college here. So there was, so what I'm saying is the game is far different. Somebody says Sabonis. It was still only a couple of guys. I mean, we could name them. Peja Stojakovic. I mean, not Stojakovic, the other guy that died.
I love Peja.
No, not Peja. Drazen. Remember Drazen?
Drazen Petrovic. Drazen.
That's
correct.
He played back when Mike played, I think.
Right.
But it was only a few dudes. The league now is littered with them dudes. So what I'm saying is, it's actually made it harder for American kids to make the NBA. And I've been on discussions talking about overtime elite, and I know Matt's on the feed, and I love. I wish you got to get Matt. Got to get Matt Verdin. We got to get him on the Chop Shop one day to talk about overtime elite. Right.
Yeah.
And to talk about what's happening with this kids not going to high school situation and playing professionally, and saying going college, but also getting. And Matt can educate a little bit over up to $100,000 if they don't make it or if they want to go, right?
Yeah.
Because I was in some intense conversations this morning about some stuff, and I'm not nearly as educated as I need to be, but I'm actually coming around to a degree, Hatter.
Tell me why.
Well, 2 things. I'm not for the aspect again. You're talking about stuff that was debated all week long amongst NBA guys.
Just give us why.
I'm not for the aspect of kids not being educated. And that's the part. Is that for you? Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. And that's the part that's scary to people is that, my bad, guys.
No, you
That's the
good.
part that's scary to people
Hmm.
that, hold on one second. I'm sorry. That's the part that's scary to people. The kids are going to lose out, not be educated, but
Hmm.
they've covered that. And that remains to be seen
Okay.
about, you know, who makes it, who doesn't make it. But they're
Okay.
being compensated the
Hmm.
same way Serena Williams and Venus Williams will be compensated, the
Okay.
same way Tiger Woods will be compensated while
Okay.
he's on his quest,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Over in Europe, when they find a guy, when they tab a guy as being the dude, they're not sending that dude to school. What they do, Hatter? They
Oh, they
take him
said,
and train him every
yeah,
day.
yeah. That's what they
They
did
pay
to
him like a
Luca.
pro.
That's what they did to Luca.
Exactly. That's what they're doing over here now.
Okay.
The question is because of our AAU system and our collegiate system, they don't have that over there.
I got a question. How? Who do these people play? Because I just heard one coach is Kevin Ollie. Who else? Who they gonna be playing against?
So that's what I'm saying. We got to get some other people on here to talk through it. Is that because I
Matt
heard
is
they're
on
going to
there.
play?
I want Matt. Matt.
Yeah,
I'm
Matt
saying
can
it for
come. He can
Matt.
comment. I know he's on there,
Uh-huh.
but I think they're going to play prep schools and schools of that ilk. I don't know, but they'll find somebody to play, and they're probably going to play teams overseas. I don't know, but the bottom line is it's a portal to the NBA. Like if you want to be a pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: it's not that you don't care about school. See, I try to tell people this, and I was talking to somebody this morning. If you Joe Jackson, okay, if
Uh-huh.
you're Earl Woods,
Okay.
if you're LeVar Ball, if
Mm-hmm.
you're Richard Williams, if
Mm-hmm.
you're Matthew Knowles,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that school ain't important.
Mm-hmm.
You got one. You know what I'm saying?
I got
You
you.
got one, and
Uh-huh.
that's the road you take them down. You
I
don't
got you.
think the same way as a dude that's got a kid that's got an unbelievable IQ, or they got a kid that can't run and chew gum and got to worry about school. You don't think that way.
I
The
got you.
same way a parent that think they got a smart kid say my kid got to go to Harvard is the same way Matthew Knowles thought about Beyonce.
It's a great point. Great point.
It's the
Great
same way
point.
Richard Williams thought about his daughters.
Great
The
point.
same way LeVar thought about his sons.
Great point.
It's
Great
just
point.
that when you change the hue of them,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like it's crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because Earl Woods, what he did with Tiger Woods, if it didn't work out, we would be, oh, that's a cautionary tale. But how
Tiger
many
went to Stanford, Doc.
I understand that, but how many Earl Woods that are out there that don't look like Earl Woods where it didn't work out? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is they bet on their kids, man. They knew they had talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put LeVar Ball, man. Look at LeVar Ball. They can talk what they thought about LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball smarter than all of us. Y'all lost y'all mind, man.
You know, I don't let people talk. They get mad at me because I don't let people talk about LeVar. He done did something I ain't never seen a daddy do, but keep going. Keep going, Chris.
Top 5 picks. Two
Huh?
top 5 picks in the draft. 2 top 5 picks in the draft. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. And I know Jim, what's up, cheat sheet? And the thing I was laughing about, and I had a kid hit me. I don't want to jump around because I want to get back on the Chauncey
No.
thing, man, about the media
Okay.
and character assassination and how they see African American men, and it's always wrapped around sex and like we're heathens or something like that. Even though they give us certain jobs and they try to put a roadblock when it gets to a certain spot. Well, we're gonna let you get here, but you can't get there. You see what I'm saying? And to the guy that wrote that article, I think he has every right to write it.
Yes.
For everybody to unfollow that dude. That is the most ridiculous thing in the world, man. For that dude
But
to bring
Chris,
that up
that's how he
after
feel
all
though,
of those
Chris.
people.
Chris.
I don't know. I think he
That-
got paid to write.
No.
I think he
But
got
that,
paid.
excuse me. But even if you got paid to write it, okay? But you had to get
But
paid
look
to
what
write. You
happened,
had to feel a certain way.
But
Because
look what happened,
some people would say, man, you can't pay me to write this.
But look what happened. He got the job anyway. So
Yes.
my thing, he was getting it anyway. Like for that guy to write that, to think that he was going to shame $1 billion organization when we got congressmen out there having sex parties and stuff, still
Matthew
making
Gates.
law.
Let's call his name Matthew Gates.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Still making law.
Yes.
And we talking about a basketball. Man, that's unbelievable to me, man. Unbelievable. unbelievable, bro.
But Chris,
Some of the
that's
stuff these college coaches do, man, don't get me started, man.
but Chris, like
I
I
don't
tell
see
you,
it being in the media. I understand what they're trying to do. You see what I'm saying? And what that does is that paints a picture for the next guy. And they went 0 for 2. They went 0 for 2. That's what they did, right? But I mean, I want to talk about some other stuff later on, man, because I'm gonna let y'all. I want to go back to this overtime thing, and I
yeah,
want to talk about the combine this weekend.
okay,
Hold
Right?
on. Let's get with the overtime first, so guys
Okay,
get to
go on.
understand. Um, Matt Verdon, you mentioned him, Matt the Mayor, who watches the Chop Shop
Yep.
often, based in Atlanta. Well, the overtime is building their headquarters right now in Atlanta. So Atlanta is going to be the headquarters. Here's the deal. Tim Fuller, who's one of the administrators with the overtime. Tim Fuller is a career college coach. Chris, you know him. He's part of your college Division I college coaching fraternity, as well as he briefly had an intermission, a cup of coffee as a director with Nike in the grassroots sector for one, maybe 2 summers, about 10 years ago. So Tim Fuller and Chris, you know, we were in Vegas. We got a chance to see Tim Fuller a couple of weeks ago. Spoke with him in depth on that. However, I talked with Tim just about over the weekend. Tim is ready to come on the Chop Shop. However, they are strictly prohibited from speaking about overtime business right now. Matt Verdon, who's under Tim Fuller, definitely can't come publicly and speak about overtime, their business right now. Remember, I like that phrase. That's on our new thing. That might be good to gear. It might be some t-shirt stuff right now. Put some on right now. That's the key. So that gives understanding as to why we could talk with Tim Fuller. He's ready to come on. And I'm like, well, Tim, I think
no, they can't say nothing. Ain't no use in coming
you
on.
can't say nothing about overtime. But Tim has a lot to talk about now because he's a former college coach, and them the best ones to get to talk about name, image, likeness stuff, or stuff that they are maybe pissed off about NCAA stuff right now. Like a Chris Walker, you can get the truth out of them right now in many cases. Some topics they still, even Chris was shy away from talking about because you leave that door open, you might possibly want to go back. But a guy like Tim, they may view him as the straight up opposition right now. It may not be no turning back for him because a lot of guys in that position, they're looking at NBA. If that doesn't
No
work,
question.
that's going to no matter what a Matt
That's the only reason you don't
Verdon.
play for overtime is really going to the league. You got to be thinking
Exactly.
pro. You
Exactly.
got to be thinking
They're
pro.
thinking
But
pro. Even administrators. Go on.
But here's the thing, Jimmy. And again, like I said, I had an intense conversation this morning about the deal. Is that it's like the Ignite, because the big conversation was about the Ignite team. How does the team that the kids that Rod Strickland runs, right? You know, Jimmy. I mean, I had lunch with Rod in Vegas, and it was interesting, and they're talking about recruiting the kids. So now the Ignite team is becoming more sexier for the
Yeah.
guys that. And I watched one of the kids play at the combine, and I didn't like him. The kid Nix, Jimmy, that was supposed to go to UCLA
Dayshawn
that they were
Nix.
complaining about.
Uh-huh.
I didn't like him. How'd I didn't like him? I was like, okay, I see it, but pro? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people understand when you use the word pro and you watch Paul George out there, 6'10", handling
Come on, Chris.
Beverly, that's an absolute goon. You know what I'm saying? Like them dudes don't understand. And Patrick Beverly is not the top of the food chain, but he'll tear your head off.
Oh my God.
Oh my! I just don't think I'm watching them dudes play. I'm watching this kid from Duke, and I'm like, what is he doing here? And you know what somebody told me? He took the money already. I'm like, what? He can't go back. I said, come on, man. I said, that dude don't belong here, man. Do you know that in the, I was telling somebody today, do you know that in the American Conference, American Athletic Conference, where Quentin Grimes tore him up the second day. He ate him alive the second day.
He
You
went
know
back the
one
first
player-
day, but keep going.
You know, there was only
What you
one
mean? I mean,
whole
give us
league.
elaborate, Chris. Tear him up. Give us
Oh, he
a
had
little
about
bit
six
more.
threes. He made about 6 threes. Everybody was buzzing about him. You know, and again, you know, my boys are. I'm friends with the guys at Kansas, so I don't want to go in too hard. But I think U of H was the best thing that ever happened to Quentin Grimes because, you know, let's be keeping 100. I saw Quentin when I was there. I thought he was soft coming out of high school, and I thought Bill would toughen him up. That didn't go the way they wanted. And I think Kelvin Sampson was the best recipe ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I said to him? I said, man, how my young fella Tremont Mark doing? You know what Grimes said? He just gotta understand Coach Sampson. And for that to come from Quentin Grimes, I was like, oh my God, Jimmy, you know, we saw Quentin grow up from the hoops or whatever. He said he just gotta understand Coach Sampson. You know what I'm saying? But think about it, guys. Think about what I'm about to tell you right now. Ethan, I talked to Stevie Thompson, who played at Syracuse when I played, assistant coach at Oregon State. He was in Dallas this weekend. He called me. I talked to him with somebody on the phone. He said, I said, Stevie, I love your son. Y'all played in the fun. Why is he not here? He said, I don't know. Stevie Thompson Jr., that led Oregon State.
Yes.
Didn't get an invite.
Yes.
Didn't get an invite. Y'all, people don't understand, man. When we start talking about that level, it's very different. Listen, it's hard, but it's fair. Like, dude, it was like 5 Pac-12 players that even participated in that thing. And you know what's made it harder? They don't pick. It used to be Ed. I was with Ed Pinckney. He says, let me tell you what's the difference, man. Back when I played, it was only seniors. Now, it's freshmen and seniors. So a whole lot of dudes don't get an opportunity no more. One of my little dudes said, but man, what you talking about? Everybody said, dude, if you ain't playing that camp, here's a cold thing they did. They had a G League camp first. They had a G League camp on Sunday and Monday.
Them were 1 or 2 guys. How many? 1 or 2 guys come out of that camp?
4 guys.
4?
So from the G League camp, they put 4 guys in the other camp. So you had to try out to get to the other camp.
Right.
Matt McClung, who played at Texas Tech,
Yeah.
was in the G League camp, didn't get to the other camp. I'm just telling you, man.
And he was killing in the Big 12.
Killing. So I'm telling this kid I'm talking to, I'm going to say who it is. I say, man, if you want to play in that league, man, it was only one dude from Conference USA. That's Charles Bassey. And Charles Bassey still got to do some work.
Yeah.
Because he's about 30 years old. So I don't know if he's going to be in the first round. Because he's been injured so much. So when you win them, like Max Asmus, little Max Asmus struggled.
Yes, he did.
Jimmy couldn't get a shot off, Jimmy.
They called me saying, Rob, I thought you told me this kid can play. I said, I liked him in the. He said,
struggled.
And you know, and like, okay, let's bookmark that moment. And this is what I like to use as an educating moment for a lot of people out there. Okay, let's say if the young player could play, and let's say if you saw him play 4 to 5 times before, Adam, and let's say you co-sign that loan, right? Well, when he gets to a certain plateau, a certain crossroads, a certain intersection, that person that's evaluating him then, it doesn't matter what you did before.
that's right.
It doesn't matter that Hatter may have saw you 5 times and you were the best, you were the red ant in whatever ant bed that you came out from. They're going to go, whatever the expectations or the hype that somebody put on you, they're going to go and accumulate their own perceived notions in some cases. In some cases, it'll be an even blank canvas. And you're gonna help them paint their picture of you. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people say, this dude, man, he a bad joker, man. This dude, man, he the best. Okay, guess what? You get to that point, those people now, in their eyes, that dude ain't good enough. Now, Hatter, you might see him 4 more times, and he might light it up 4 more times after that. Know what they gonna still say?
I saw him. Excuse me. I saw him. No. I saw what they saw this weekend.
Exactly.
I saw it. I got it on DVR.
Marcus Zagorowski was preseason Big East Player of the Year. Jimmy, couldn't get a shot off.
So that means that it happened.
So you're not
When
playing
you
with your
in this
team where you got
environment right
favoritism.
here, and you with all these other dudes, you ain't got no system. You ain't in Paul Mill's system where you can get your shot off.
Exactly. And Hatter, guess what? If you get drafted and you go to the Lakers, you ain't shooting.
Nah, ain't gonna shoot a
If
lick.
you go to the Boston Celtics, you ain't shooting.
Chris, can I interject something here?
Go
Patrick
ahead.
Beverly averaged 30-some points in high school.
Please.
Guess how he making his living right now?
Being a goon.
Breaking dudes' nose and make dudes have to put a face mask on.
Yeah.
Well, no, add Russell Westbrook, what he did to him running down the baseline when he was at OKC.
Well, he fouled. I mean, he hurt him.
That's what he's a goon. Patrick Beverly's a goon.
He's a goon. He's a goon. But Russell Westbrook. But here's the thing. The deal is, and Terry Shannon was there. He was there. He got invited, but he didn't participate. He did the drills. They have what they call these drills. They got the shuttle drill. They got the slide drill. They got the vertical and all that stuff. You know, football, how they do the 40s and all that, and they got the 30
Combine.
whatever.
Yeah.
Combines. Just combine stuff.
Yeah.
Just stuff to keep them busy. And I'm going to say it again. You can do all the drills you want. The minute they put you out there with them other 9 dudes, that's when they find out what you are. That I'm just like basketball is the purest form between the lines. When they put you out with them other dudes, it's a miss or make situation. Can you make the shot? I'm gonna tell you somebody like, and again, I don't want Alfio to get mad at me, but Greg Brown need to take his ass back to school. And I know he can't, but there's no way in shape or form that dude is ready to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because here's why I feel bad. And one of the GMs jumped on me. They said they need to change the rules. But I'm like, man, because of our AAU system and the hype game and social media, these guys actually believe, like I was telling you before, the kids say, what are you talking about? Young Money put out this post that said they got a pro day. And Hatter, come on, Hatter, tell me what you Hatter.
I'm not gonna say it publicly.
I said, Young Money did what? I said, dude, they just had a combine where they invited the dudes that they think are gonna be the best ones that didn't play or did play, the Scotty Barnes and all them dudes and Trey Mans, and these dudes you talking about ain't nowhere on the list. And you telling me, but that's the hype game. I'm with Young Money. What the hell I got to do with anything? Was you in Chicago with me? Well, they got a pro day out there. Dude, this stuff, man, these parents, man.
Hey, man, but Chris.
They got to educate them.
But
you know
Chris,
what I told somebody, I said, the parents, instead of closing it off to everybody cheat sheet, instead of closing it off because the NBA security was unbelievable, instead of shutting it off, they didn't let everybody see it.
They should let them, yeah.
But
they always did that, Chris. They've always did that. This ain't high school, Chris. This business.
I get you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's the same way I talk about the NFL when they like, oh man, he can play in the pros. All right, how to take him to a game, let him be on the sideline, see A, how big them dudes are, and B, how fast them dudes and how hard they get hit. And you tell me that dude.
Chris, how long has Chop Shop been on the show? We've been saying this. Well, everybody don't listen to the Chop Shop, but they don't want to let their friends know. Haven't I been saying this for how many, Jimmy, 2016, 15, 16, around in that area? We've been telling y'all every single year, parents.
Man, let me tell you something. I know what I saw this weekend. I'm like, hold on, man. So y'all telling me that dude right there is supposed to be the player of the year in his league, or that dude right there, and that dude don't even belong here. And now you telling me he gonna play in the league in the world? Were you watching Trae Young out there shooting from the parking lot?
And missing.
Watching
missing.
Dudes like John Collins, John the Baptist. Dudes like Gallinari, 6'10", 6'11" out there. Dudes like Giannis, 7 foot. Like, where is he going to play? That's why I tell guys, tell me where you playing, man. Who you guarding? You can't guard Trae Young. So if you can't guard him and you 6 foot, then who you guarding? Oh, you going to guard who? Bogdanovich? You going to guard the Red Mamba? You going to guard Herter? Who you guarding? 6'7". Who you guarding? Come on, man. Kill that EYBL crap. Kill all that stuff, man. When you get to that level of
But Chris, I got a question. Let's just say.
Hold on, Hatter, before you go there, Hatter.
Come on.
That shirt you got on. Them dudes that they hyped up that Penny brought in there. that thought they was one and done dudes. They found out real quick, didn't they? Them, I don't want to call their name.
I call that name the one from San Diego.
You better not call Boogie name. You better not say Boogie. You better leave Boogie
Found
alone.
out real quick.
Jimmy, you know. Jimmy,
leave Boogie alone.
hold me, Cletus. Hold me.
You better leave Boogie alone.
Okay, I ain't
That's your
gonna say
whole
that.
talk.
Watch
So it
this.
wasn't just DJ Jeffries. It wasn't just Boogie.
Nope, he
It
gone.
wasn't just Boogie.
Yeah. Keep talking. Keep talking. I love this.
I'm just telling y'all, when I went to, I was like, damn, this is a little bit more different than I even thought before, because it's so many guys that think they can make it. There's a kid, somebody said something about Shaka, named Dawson Garcia, who was picked preseason freshman of the year in the Big East. And guess what he doing? He found out he got that data that they all don't want to hear. Got to take his butt back to school and put his name in the portal. Dude, I don't care what draft.net say, Jonathan Givani or anybody else. When you get there, that stuff don't matter no more. They mix in the pot like gumbo with them other dudes. It don't matter no more. And you know what else you got,
Hey,
Jimmy?
so
And Jimmy know this.
Chris,
You got a lot of dudes running and hiding ain't gonna play. Because there was some dudes, I was like, hey man, you shouldn't have played. You had them fooled. There was some dudes, they started doing all the shuttle individual stuff. I was like, ooh.
like who? Like whom, Chris? Give us a
I ain't
couple
say
of them.
nothing.
Those are
I ain't say
okay, but tell me this. They're grown men now.
Nah,
So
nah, nah,
at
nah,
this
nah,
point,
nah.
no, I mean, but this point, I don't understand. At this point,
I'm just saying there's certain
you were
guys
there,
that I thought
but
should
you
have
were
played.
there.
I know, but there's certain guys, they do their pro days. I'm like, bruh, you got them fooled. They got you projected. You at the end of the road. Why are you killing yourself right now?
Okay, but here's why I'm asking you this. Here's why I
Don't
ask you
put
this,
yourself
and how to this is you. Hopefully, you can understand this as well, because it's kind of like pleading the fifth. You know, when you say it, when the person asks me, who stunk? People want to know who played very well, who stunk. That's the 10% of the magna cum laude of the camp, and that 10% who should have been retained for and repeat their grade again. Well, the other 80% probably fared good. Now, good is not good enough for this type of stage. So he's not asked you that pleading the fifth. That's asked at first. You went out and publicly announced or gave your evaluation of one player, which was Greg Brown. So okay, so if you mentioned Greg Brown and you felt comfortable saying Greg Brown should take his ass back to school, he did not fare well. I just simply asked you to give us a couple of more, not every single one. Give us a couple more who didn't fare well, so we can know that Greg Brown is not being singled out.
Let me say this. Again, not fair. I thought Zagorowski didn't fare well. I told you Max Asmus didn't fare well. I gave you some names. What I'm saying is there are some guys that did the other stuff. Like when you see the shuttle drills and you see the slide drills and you see the verticals and stuff, the stuff that they wouldn't know unless they came there, they didn't look athletic. And they're not what you see on TV. What you see with their team is not what they are when they are individuals and you're measuring them with those measurables. You're like, well, hold on, man. This dude don't look athletic. Hold on, man. Look at this dude's body. So hold on, you've been training for 2 months. No, you got a pro day, and you don't even come in. I'm gonna tell you a guy that didn't play that I thought should have played. You know who that was? Luka Garza, player of the year. He lost 30 pounds. He don't even look the same. And I'm like, hold on, why didn't you play?
So he didn't play at all. So Luke didn't play.
He did not play. And I'm like, why didn't
Luka didn't want to lose. Luka know he got a second round grade, man. He don't want to get graded out the damn second round, Chris. Luke,
I hear you, but he didn't play.
But he took your advice, Chris.
But he lost 30 pounds. He looks different. So
but he took your advice. He knew what he could do. He said, I'm not finna go in here. I'm not finna be a free agent.
Hold up. Guess what y'all didn't see? He participated in all the drills.
Yes. 5-on-5 is different.
5-on-5, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4. And then when the game started, and guess what the games were on? TV. They were on ESPN. So my thing is, if you want, I'm going to tell somebody who made a case for themselves, and again, I'm not going to say what team told me what. They had a dude that said, hey, man, I'm gonna be in the top. I should be in the top 10. They was like, this dude crazy, right? Kid named Bones Highland.
Oh my goodness. He shut it down after the first day.
Told undisputed. And here's the crazy thing. I had a media person sitting with me. She says, I can't believe this. I can't write about Bones Highland. He's killing the camp. No one's going to even talk about this. Dude, that dude went out there. It was 2 dominant performances. It was him and it was Quentin Grimes the next day.
Yeah.
Dominant performances.
So tell me this, Chris. Give me some educators right now. Bookmark this. Another point to educate. When a person in the mainstream media makes a statement, or they think with those along those lines, saying, "I can't write about him. He's killing the camp." Elaborate on what that means for
because he's not one of the names. Because they can't. It ain't clickbait. It ain't one of the names. They ain't gonna get the followers. They ain't gonna get the hits that they want. Everybody go, who is Bones Highland? You know, it's like
I'm gonna tell you why. Jim, can I help you some, Chris? Chris, can I help you? Let me interesting. The reason you didn't hear about him because VCU got COVID and didn't go to the damn tournament. If they had went to the tournament, your ass would have heard about him because he was going to tear through them dudes' ass in that tournament. I just wanted people to know that. But keep going.
6'5" with a handle will tear you a new one. Shoot it, nice as hell.
And D up on you too.
Yeah, no, the dude is a beast. The dude is a beast, and he's going to be in the NBA. But what I'm saying is, some of these guys, man. Again, I tell kids all the time, you don't have a choice, man. You don't get to choose yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to choose yourself. And it's hard when you don't get to choose yourself because you don't know what they're really looking at. That's why analytics, I was doing a big thing on the analytics, and I'm like, if you don't teach kids that they're being viewed by the way of numbers, they have no idea what the measurement is or the line of delineation of how you choose this kid over that kid, points per possession, how many, your efficiency ratings. They don't understand that. When you a fringe guy, you don't get to be a volume guy. LeBron gets to be a volume guy. LeBron gets to make 8 turnovers. Nobody don't say nothing. KCP can't do that. You see what I'm saying?
Let's talk about him later, KTP. Let's talk about him later.
Now, okay.
Bruce Wayne, they got
talk about him later.
In the alleyway.
No, he got robbed in his own driveway.
That's what I'm
saying. In Beverly Hills. But keep going, Jim.
Hold on. So meanwhile, first of all, we have a couple of questions for you, Chris, from the combine. If you guys have questions, Chris Walker, just tune in. Of course, current CBS sports or college basketball analyst, career college Division I coach, former Houston Milby and Villanova star, is with us, founder of the Chop Shop as well, is with us. And he was at the NBA draft combine in Chicago. And so he's basically giving some short evals and of the experience and what he saw and some of the things that he saw. Now, Daryl Barnes asked, I know you touched on him earlier, because Jared Barnes just chimed in. He asked, how did Terrence Shannon play?
Shannon. Texas Tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like Luka Garza. He participated in the drills, but did not play. And Hatter can speak to this, contract advisor. Hatter, why would? Because this is important. People got to understand this. Because there was another guy with Young Money that did not. Marcus, because you know me, Jim, and we go somewhere, we always look for the Texas kids. That's what we all hold. Who from Texas?
Yeah.
Marcus Garrett didn't. I don't know if he didn't get an invite or whatever, but he was young. And I said, and I didn't even think about where's Marcus Garrett? Because there was another kid from Kansas that participated. He was just decent. Need to take his butt back to school if he got eligibility. But I was sitting there going like, well, hold on, man. Like, dang, this dude was defensive player of the year in the Big 12. Not a shooter. Did he not get an invite? But Terrence Shannon played in the drills, but didn't play in the games. So the question is how to circle back. Why is it, educate people, why is it that an agent would tell a kid not to participate?
Chris, I just told you.
Why?
You wasn't listening. I can tell you didn't listening when you wasn't listening. Coach, think about it. You said some kids shouldn't have played, right? Didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Didn't you
say? A couple
of
guys hurt themselves by getting out.
So guess what? These guys has somehow, somebody done told him something. Sometimes these teams say, hey man, this guy, I mean, you're talking to the teams all the time, Chris, and you
Right.
know if your guy is not going to thrive in the 5-on-5, you just say, we got to fool him until we get a contract, Chris. If my guy good, if my guy was that good, I'm not going to let him play no way because I don't want to hurt his stock. So I'll let him come in. I'll get him do his interview. Huh?
Well, Cam Cunningham, Cam Cunningham don't
K.
play.
Cunningham. Yes.
Cunningham don't play.
But I understand. But Luka
I
Gaza,
understand
you
him.
just said something. Luka, no, he wasn't going to look good in 5-on-5. Luka looks good at hours pounding the ball into him. He know he's not going to look good. So he already had a second round grade in the beginning. I don't know what it is now. Why go there and play myself out of getting drafted at all? So it's just a case by case, Chris. It's not no one size fit all. If you don't feel your kid gonna go out there and help himself in that 5-on-5, you know his deficiency, you know he ain't no dog, and you know guys like Bones.
But he gonna be a pro though.
Yeah, but you got to fake it, Chris.
I get you.
Anthony Bennett showed you can be a pro. You can be the first round draft pick and just don't make it in the NBA. Everybody, dude, all the combine is doing, Jimmy, is giving you an opportunity.
Right,
It's not saying that you're going to stay or you're going to be there. You got the opportunity. So if I had the opportunity to not hurt my stock, I'm not going to hurt it.
But listen, somebody just mentioned another guy.
Johnny Uzang shouldn't have went.
I should not have gone.
Shouldn't have played. But guess what? Now you see, I would have told Johnny, you got lucky at UCLA. Y'all got a little run. You was in that system. Johnny, these dudes gonna tear your ass up when you get in this 5-on-5 camp. Y'all don't understand. That 5-on-5 camp, that dude named Bones, somebody told him that morning, Jimmy, they gave him some gunpowder and said, hey, man, sick him. The way he came out there like he was the baddest dude on the floor.
Dude, let me tell you something. It's not even watching the games. You got to be there and watch the bench.
Yes.
And you got to be there and watch the dudes coach them.
Yes.
Like, they know who the best dude is.
Hold up. His teammates was cheering him on.
I'm trying to tell you.
His teammates were saying, get him. Like, Bones had Jimmy. You know how you said, Bones had got the confidence and the respect from his teammates.
That's big. That's big when you get that. And of course, now we have another question to give you too. Okay. Kim asked, how did Sharife Cooper fare at the camp?
He didn't play.
He did the one-on-one stuff.
He did a pro day.
See somebody like him, and I said this to somebody the other day. Talented player, right? You know, if you know Sharife, he came from that same program, and his daddy represents him. Who's the kid that played at Oregon that plays for the Cavaliers, the athletic dude? You know, Jim, they played on that same ATO. Okoro.
Yeah.
That's that same group.
Oh, yeah, it's that. Yeah.
That's ATO, right, Jimmy? The Nike EYBL team is ATO?
AOT.
Yeah. I thought it was
AOT.
Yeah.
So he part of that group. That's why they both went to Auburn. You know,
okay.
You do the math.
Yes, that's right. Gotcha.
And the thing is, he, very talented player, go hard. If he could shoot, right? Like Hatter always said, if my uncle was my auntie, given what Trae Young is doing right now, he'd be surefire top 10 pick. Because the NBA, they prisoners of the moment. Man, hold on, man. Look at Dame Lillard. Look, they didn't stretch the floor to almost half court now, guys. Y'all understand that? You see with Trae Young and Damon Lillard.
He ain't making them enough out there, though, but he's stretching the floor, but he making timely shots, but he ain't making them percentage-wise. But keep going.
Coach, he can't make three. He barely can make college threes right now. I'm talking about them dudes shoot from the parking lot. That stretches the floor.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's open the floor.
That stretches the floor like crazy.
Yeah.
With his quickness and his ability to get around.
Yes.
Not being able to shoot is a tough one. They don't need more playmakers, man. They need shot
Yes, they
makers.
do. Chris Walker, Chris.
Yo, bro, let me tell you something. I know you love Campazzo, but if they had Jamal, they still playing right now. You know
Chris.
what somebody
So
told me that was funny, y'all? Hey, you know what somebody, I can't tell you who told me before you say that, Jimmy? Because I was watching the game right now. They said, man, you're not going to believe this. But we was talking about Devin Booker. They said, man, when Devin Booker was at Kentucky, the Harrison twins used to take turns tearing his butt
He
up.
just wasn't that
yeah,
good then.
he never started. He never started a game. No, Devin Booker was good.
No, he
Devin
wasn't better
Booker
than them at that point.
Understand something. Understand something. At that time, when the Harrison twins were at Kentucky, I think they were juniors when Devin Booker was a freshman. Remember, they also had another guard in between that was like a sophomore. That was a little kid from out of Chicago, the midget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
What's
his
the young fella name?
Fade
I
to leave
forgot
for
his
Utah.
name.
And
He had a
so
couple
understand
calls.
and
Yeah.
remember, and it's funny because a lot of people. I had one guy that get on me and bring up because people keep their mental notes. It's like, man, I had AJ Lawson ranked ahead of De'Aaron Fox. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, that was in the 9th grade, coming out of the 8th grade, and probably because AJ Lawson, just for a little hot moment, AJ Lawson came to Rucker on Wood and De'Aaron at the 9th grade. De'Aaron didn't come to the 10th grade. He came in the 10th grade. De'Aaron lit it up at Fallbrook Church, made a mixtape video out of it, and he was number one from there on out. Now, meanwhile, that was before De'Aaron Fox scored 52 points in the first 2 weeks of him being a freshman against Nimitz in double overtime. However, AJ Lawson was a good, serviceable, great kid coming out of Bryan College Station. Well, my thing was he came to Ruck on Wood. He supported the event. You gave him a nod. That's normally that's called on the right side of politics at that moment. Now, go back to this Kentucky thing. Devin Booker, there are people right now looking back saying Coach Cal had Devin Booker on the bench and started the Harrisons, both of them, twins. What do you say about that? How do you but you'll spend your whole life saying, well, because you had a guy ranked above him. A ranking is a one moment opinion. For you to, Devin Booker played 38 games or so as a freshman at Kentucky, didn't start one of them. He only, remember, and then he left. Didn't Devin Booker leave to go pro?
Yeah,
After the second year?
All of them went to pro at the same time. A lot of them. All of them.
Right?
Yeah.
So hold on. Did Devin Booker say 1 year or 2
Devin
years?
Booker didn't go at the same time as Harrison's, though. I don't think.
Yes, they did. All of them was in the same draft, man.
So that means they went, though Devin Booker didn't play a sophomore season.
They had about 6 or 7 dudes in the same draft that year.
So that's what I'm saying. So think about what I'm saying. Once again, so Kentucky, who spent multiple hours in individual workouts, practices, you're evaluating for the future. You're talking with NBA guys. If you guys understand, a program like Coach Cal, especially at that time, that's when he had a whole different crew of assistants that were at the time that were there at the time.
But Jimmy, in fairness, Jimmy, they did go to the national. In fairness, they did go to the Final Four. I mean, they did go a long way. I mean, it was.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the individual. You starting this guy over that guy. Okay, put like this, Chris. Put like this.
Everybody can't start, Jimmy.
On Kentucky. Remember, huh?
Everybody can't start. Hold up. Hold up. I got one.
Okay,
somebody told me.
Kelly Oubre went to Kansas. If you remember that first season, the season when Kelly was there, the only season Kelly was there.
It was a disaster.
Kelly Oubre wrote. He did not just come off the bench. There were a couple of games when he got what they would call in the hood hulled out. He got hulled out. He didn't hardly even play Kelly Oubre until the second half of the season. And guess what? People and so hold on. So the people that say, well, you had isn't that a way of saying this guy is ranked ahead of that guy in your team rankings, in your pecking order? This guy here is better than that guy right now.
I don't know. Let me help you out a little bit. I saw something, Chris. Hold up, Chris. I saw something the other day.
I understand what Jimmy's saying, but I'm not.
I don't buy that theory. I saw something the other day. This guy said, this AU coach, the start of the game, he put all 10 of his guys out on the floor. All 10 of the guys on the floor. And the ref came and said, man, you can't play but 5 of them. He looked up in the stands and told the mamas and daddies, I told y'all all 10 of them can't play at the same time. So y'all got to understand the way this guy recruits, all of them can't start at the
Yeah,
same
but that's
time.
right. But what we're talking about is what the question is, was Devin Booker, did he just get a whole lot better when he got to the league? That's
I
the thing.
promise you that was what Cal told. I tried to tell Herb that, but Herb saying he was better. But when I asked the coaching staff, they said, man, these dudes Devin got better. That's all. It's okay that Devin got better.
And here's
Hey,
the other thing, guys. Just because you choose Kentucky don't make you a pro, don't make you a bad dude just because they choosing dudes out of Kentucky. That's the other thing. It don't automatically mean that. I mean,
Shit.
that may be the narrative everybody's pushing, but it don't necessarily mean because you go to Kentucky, you're gonna be a dude. You know, you're a good player, you may get to the draft, but it
yes,
don't
but
necessarily
Chris,
mean you're gonna be a
but
guy in the
Chris,
league.
okay, slide over to the Kansas theory with the Kelly Oubre thing. There were multiple people in the NBA circles that were already like buying the Kelly Oubre thing movement from what they had seen at the Finley Prep and what their trajectories were. And and a lot of times they buy in because on not just we get to see game day. We get to see the games on television. But there are people, even like yourself, when you're covering a college game, you're there 1 to 2 days before the game actually take place. You get to see workouts. You get to see the practice sessions. You get to see a lot of things that we don't get to see on in the conventional world. So people were saying that it was a total travesty that Kelly Oubre was on that bench. And why was this guy doing it like that? Now, some people say he's on the bench because he's just not good enough right now. He's just not ready right now. That wasn't the issue with Kelly Oubre. They were saying he was on the bench because it was coming from some other stuff. And guess what? At that level, Chris, you know it. There are some coaches who they got to push the other guy on too in order to get to the next one. And you're trying to get to a
Well,
certain
let me ask
guy.
you a question. I don't remember that roster. I'd like to know who was on that damn roster. I know
I
that.
think Perry Ellis was on that damn roster ahead of Kelly,
Who?
if I ain't mistaken.
Who?
Perry Ellis,
They
if I'm
didn't
not
play the same
mistaken.
Yeah, but
spot,
Perry
did they?
Ellis didn't play a second in the NBA. I'm talking about at his position because Perry Ellis was a forward. I'm trying to figure out who was at his position that stopped him from playing Kelly Oubre. And a lot of people say he didn't practice hard, he didn't this, he didn't that. But they just had another kid, Bryce Thompson, that was a high level player that left, and now he's playing for Mike Boyden. I'm just saying that some schools, and I think Bill Self, I think the world of him. He's a great coach, Hall of Famer. It's just some schools, if you trying to get right to the league, you just need to buyer beware. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Calipari embraces it. He embraces it. Mike Krzyzewski embraces it. He just couldn't win with him, but he embraces it. But some schools, it's just if you're a dude that's trying to get to the league, man, there's certain schools, man, you got it. Just like if you're big, there's certain schools you need to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to really do your homework. Hey man, if you're trying to get straight to the league, you sure you want to go there? I don't know, man. They don't even shoot threes. All you do is shoot threes. You gonna change your system just because
Well,
you
guess
going there?
what? Now I got another option. I can go to Ignite. I can go to overtime.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, Jimmy. I'm gonna throw this at Jimmy. Greg Brown had a chance to go to Ignite.
Sure did. Sure
Yeah.
did.
Turn down that bread.
If he went to Ignite, they are not going, the NBA is not going to let the bulk of those guys fail as far as money wise in the first graduating class of that team. I say this again. The NBA is going to see to it that the bulk of those guys, was Americans, are going to stick it with going to get paid. They're going to get brought in. They're going to get written in somehow. Because if they didn't, then it would be a slap in their own face. So they got to make sure.
So which furthers my point. If you are a pro, be a pro. So take your butt to the Ignite. Like don't fool it. Like Deshaun Nix, in my opinion, should have took his butt to UCLA. I'm sorry. He should have went to UCLA. I watched that dude play. I said, man, y'all serious? That's that kid.
I didn't like him on Ignite.
I was like, come on, man. You got to be kidding me. No way.
But he get what
No
he
way, no
said.
how.
Get what he said, Chris. He's delusional. He said, he asked, what was his pluses? He said, because I'm a big guard. They don't have no big
Man,
guards in
please.
the NBA.
They don't have no big guards in the NBA.
I said,
And
what
tell
the
him to
hell
watch-
he been watching?
Tell him to watch Paul George, who's 16. Like I was watching a game with one of the Clippers executives, and I was like, yo, man, do people realize Paul George is 6'10"?
Long as hell, Doc. He
Do
long.
they realize he's 6'10"?
Yeah. Yeah.
So people make good points that Wayne Selton, who's not in the league, who was a McDonald's All-American, Devontae Graham, who's in the league playing for Charlotte, Frank
Brendan
Mason
Green.
was his favorite. Was his favorite, who was Big 12 Player of the Year. You know what I'm saying? So they had some dudes. And if you know anything about Kansas, Kansas is a system. You don't win 12 Big 12 tournaments, championships in a row.
Good
You don't have
point.
a system.
Great point.
It ain't about players. It's
Great
about
point.
system. It's about players, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's a system. If you want to go one and done, take your butt to, take your butt to Kentucky, man. Take your butt to Duke. You know what I mean? But Jimmy, again, to harken back to what I was saying about the combine, and I got into it, and I told me to bring his butt back on the show, Paul Hewitt. We sat there and argued for about an hour about what the rules should be. And his thing is, hey man, because what they're worried about is kids putting their names in the draft, because we started talking about some of the guys that put their name in the draft that maybe like a Greg Brown, not necessarily Greg Brown, I don't want to pile on GB, but or other guys that put their names in the draft, and you're like, yo man, take your butt back to school. What the hell are you doing? Right? But they can't go back. And somebody said this, they gave this example. Hey, Chris Walker, you got a chance to be the GM of the Knicks, but you are the assistant GM of the Pacers, okay? They say, why do you have to give up your job? If somebody said, hey, man, the job is yours. But if they said, hey, man, you're going to interview with 100 people, we think you got a good chance, but you got to give your job up from the Pacers, would you do it? No, you wouldn't do that. You're like, well, hold on. If the job is mine, I'm going to do it. If you guarantee me, I'm good. But I'm not going to give up my job unless I know I'm getting it. But what we ask these college kids to do, give up a scholarship before they know if they're going to get drafted or not. You understand? You feel what I'm saying, Hatter and Jimmy? You got to give up your eligibility to know if you're going to get drafted. What Paul is saying is everybody should be draft eligible at 19, no matter what, the way they do it in baseball and hockey. So it ain't about whether you can go back or not. You draft eligible. You don't have to lose your scholarship. But the way they got it now, after the draft, after the combine, I think you got 10 days or whatever it is to say if you want to go back. You should never have to decide whether you want to go back or not. Once you're 19, you're eligible, period. Before 19, you can't go. Does that make sense? But the funny thing is, and I said this to him, and then this is where we went sideways. I said, yo, it's funny, man, you mentioned hockey and baseball. But let me tell you who 70% of the African-American kids, what sports they play. Football and basketball. And let me tell you, who watched the College World Series this weekend? Or who watches the Final Four in hockey? You know, I guess some people do. But guess what everybody else watching? The college football playoff and the Final Four. There's so much money in the summer systems, in the amateur system around those two sports wrapped around our people, that there's more control over those situations. What people are not thinking as much is about baseball and hockey. That's what we got sideways. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going on. The question is, why is it that we always trying to save the black kids? Man, we got to save them from themselves. We got to make sure. Think about it. We got to make sure they get educated. We don't say that in baseball. Well, we got to make sure. We don't say that in hockey. But in football, we got all kind of rules in place to keep them there. And in basketball, guess what we say? We're going to make sure that these coaches can still keep coaching and keep making their bread. Because, it's going to be too much. It's going to be too hard on the college coaches if we give basketball players an option to come back and forth. Because we got what we call the third parties in AAU. It's a power struggle because it doesn't make sense that every college situation doesn't have the same rules. Why does baseball have different rules than basketball? Why? Why does hockey have different rules than basketball? I don't get it. Y'all, I mean, what do y'all
They
think
got the
about that?
complexion for protection. You
Well,
already know.
no. Well, Hatter, that was a perfect chance for you to do the Yosemite Sam on old Chris Walker. He just pointed the gun over at you and say, "Why isn't the same rules for hockey as it is for basketball?" Hold on, you want the Division I college coach. Chris Walker was employed and governed by the NCAA for over 2 decades. Chris Walker, you tell us why the
I just
hell
told
those
you.
rules aren't the
I
same.
just told you it's
Excuse me.
control. I just told you it's control. So my
What,
thing
control of our black bodies?
Yes, absolutely. I had some. Let me tell you something, man. Somebody made a comment. I can't even say who it was that
You
a
can't say
certain
nothing no
person-
more.
that a certain person who works for not necessarily NCAA but some subsidiary said we need to recruit more kids that look like college graduates.
Oh, really?
Say that one more. Whoa. Who said this?
I was like, hold on.
Really?
So y'all had a meeting and you guys were sitting in there and somebody stood up and said, we need to recruit more kids that look like college graduates. Man, I'm just
was you in the
Chris,
meeting?
I don't know what circles you
Hold
be
on.
in.
Were you in the
I'm
meeting?
talking about I'm talking the big boy meeting chairs, not stuff
Oh,
that I
okay.
don't get invited to. Way above my pay grade.
So
Well, we
here's
know they think, Chris. We know how they think about us.
Okay,
We
well,
just
then guess
can't
what?
think about each other like that.
Okay, well, here it filters down because maybe we are thinking about ourselves like that. Because again, you see what they put on the TV about Chauncey Billups. So here's the question: in every black household, what was being said when they came out about Chauncey Billups? Was it, man, there they go again trying to get us? Or it's like, man, I knew Chauncey was a freak, man. Hell no. Like, what was being said in our community? I'd like to know. Because the first thing I said was that's character assassination.
Hold
because
on.
he was not.
I'm going
What?
to tell you what's said in our community. I got a text this morning. See, I'm glad you asked. Somebody texted me this morning and said, man, was asking me about it because they were talking about it on TV this morning. I didn't have a chance to watch it. Somebody said, Hatter, hold up. That retarded ninja pissed me off. I was trying. Oh, no. He came and said, Hatter, I hope you're watching First Take right now. This is some bull crap, man. Questioning Billups and Kidd being a head coach, that's a bad look for the damn NBA. Perkins is letting them have it. But this is ridiculous. Then I calmed him down a little bit. He said, okay. He said, they are saying that Billups was cleared of a rape allegation and then he just went on and on and on. He said, man, this stuff is crazy, man. I'm mad. Some of us are mad. Walter Yates was mad this morning. He texted me this morning. All of us, Chris, I don't get mad anymore because I understand what they're doing before they even do it. I'm not surprised anymore. I used to be. Y'all used to. No. But when I understand it's two worlds out there. It's how they see us and how we see each other. And they are the ones in the press box. They are the ones that wrote about Jackie Robinson. It was all white writers who was writing. They had one black writer who wrote about
Chronicled his life, right?
So I'm just saying, dude, when you go in the press box, man, Jimmy and I had a chance to go in the press box. Me, Jimmy, and another black dude was the only one up there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
think about it, Chris. Bless their little hearts. This just
point.
how they feel about your black butt.
Hatter, it's to your point. If we called, and I'm not jumping on these dudes. I'm just telling you the reality.
Right.
Hey, Chris Paul, come on the Chop Shop. Nah, man, I ain't doing that. Adrian Wojnarowski, come on that show. Oh, I'll do that show. I'm just telling you, man. And we're the kind of guys that promote these guys, and we're an African-American show.
So
they ain't messing with us, man.
But that's Chris, because they act like that don't mean you should act like that.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
we know Chris Paul, but guess what? For every Chris Paul,
I didn't even want to throw Chris Paul in. I'm just saying here's a vehicle that's put in forth to promote us.
But Chris, think about
Hey,
it, Chris.
had a. Penny been on the show.
Charles
Penny
Woodson been on the show.
Charles Woodson been on the show. So what I'm saying is, you talk about, well, how can we get this? How can we get that? They are in direct line with helping this thing explode to another level. When you talk about how we see us, what's intentional? You understand what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is, when I see that article come out, and my boys, or Jesse Washington's a friend of the show, and Mark and all them dudes,
Yeah.
and my boy Jamal, I'm like, yo, man, where's the article to be like, yo, what the hell? The hell kind of hatchet job is that on this dude, man? From the Undefeated. Where's that article?
The Undefeated doing a great job, Chris. But
Chris, journalism, that's the writing component on the media. In journalism, a lot of times because a lot of journalists, this is how it goes sometimes from writing. You guys as the coach can feed a narrative and supply us with factual statistics to support that narrative. And then that means then the writer will go and do his homework and just do his research to go. But if you just say, man, you ain't got no comeback for that, that's they don't always have
No.
no.
What I'm saying is this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this dude writes an article, and it's the same way I was. It's funny. So I was when I was going back and forth, because I was staying in a hotel with all the whatever, and I was media, and it was whatever. And there was a lady. One time I came, and there was a lady, and we started talking. She was a security guard. She was a cop. We just struck up a conversation. She was a Cowboy fan, had her from Memphis, the whole nine. And I said, what's funny? She said, I can ask you a question. How long you been in law enforcement? 30 years. I said, why is it that black cops never speak up when white cops do bad stuff? She says it's racism. It's a system. I said, I get it, but you're on the same force with them, and they do this stuff. And none of y'all never talk. I don't get that.
They treat them like the same way. If that system is in that system too.
So what I'm saying is, my point is, if I'm in the media and a dude writes something like that, I'm going to go after his, but yo, man, what the hell? Tear his butt up. Because he's trying to stop us from think of the media controls a lot of this stuff, these narratives. They control these narratives, and they can stop you. They can stunt your growth, bro. They can put the narrative out there to stop the next dude from getting hired. It ain't about
Chris.
Let me make this last point.
Okay.
It ain't about Chauncey, and it ain't about Jason. It's about Jamal Mosley and the rest of those dudes. Because Chauncey and Jason, they Hall of Famers. They can get past this. It's the other dudes like a Steven Silas, all them guys, that they're the ones that get hurt by this.
Of course.
The guys with no names or don't have those lofty playing careers.
Yeah. Yes, because Chris, you made me. I had some. Gosh, but
my question is on the Chauncey thing is this. Okay, the people that have the same energy toward Chauncey, did they have the same energy toward Kobe?
That was another thing that was said.
Oh, they told Kobe head off, fella, but Kobe ain't tried to come get no job. Jimmy, Kobe was. Oh my goodness.
No. Remember Kobe was part of the process of putting his agent in the administration.
Right.
And nobody had that energy toward Kobe not being in front office. And Kobe could have been in front office had he wanted to. Had he wanted to, he would have been there. That position was his.
If some people would have brought it up on Kobe, I'm telling you. Even when he won the Oscar, Jimmy, he had backlash from winning the Oscar. Well, about the rape allegations in Chicago. In Colorado.
No doubt.
I mean,
even when he died.
Even when he died, they talked about it.
Yeah, he was this, he was that, but he was a rapist. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
One actress.
And let me tell you something. The young up and coming coaches, like you said, Jamal and those guys just got to be clean, because they won't get They won't get the pass that Jason Kidd got. They won't get the pass. They won't get the pass, because guess what? Those guys got champion on their resume. And that's the one thing I do love about y'all, when y'all always talking about certain people like as not champions. Charles Barkley, He wasn't a champion, but he thrived. But being a champion, they can never take that from you. And Mr. Big Shot. But I think we ain't talked about this enough. And I see Alan Branch is here now. Think about what happened. These guys spoke up. Damon Lillard spoke up for these guys to get this job. He said, Jason Kidd, and my second choice is Chauncey Billups. Okay? Penny Hardaway, Orlando, those young R.J. Hamptons and them young kids on that team, they spoke up and said, Lando, this is like a university. All of us is 23 years old and under. Penny relate to all of us. He has been around all of us. These guys, hold up. I'm not going to stop there.
I agree.
I'm not going to stop there.
I agree.
At Dallas right now, something monumental happened in Dallas. Nico Harrison was assigned to Dirk Nowitzki, Michael Finley, and Tony Parker, people in this area. Long time. So he got a friendship with them, right? Guess who is the brain trust of the Dallas Mavericks now? Dirk Nowitzki, Michael Finley, Jason Kidd, another one of the guys who he was. All of these guys, it's relationship. These guys spoke up for each other. That's what we got to start doing, Chris. And we've been saying it, but that's the thing. That moves needle. These players got power, man. Monty Williams, Chris Paul, in every interview, first thing he said, I know y'all talking about me. I cannot talk about the job that Monty Williams is doing.
Because he knows.
Nate McMillan. Well, y'all got to realize, too, this is a copycat league. These dudes in the suites, guess what they saying, Alan Branch? I got to get me a Nate McMillan. I got to get me a Ty Lue. All these former players.
What did Bear Bryant say? I got to get what?
I got to get me one of them Bam Cunninghams.
I got to get one of them Sam Cunninghams.
So I'm just trying to make it plain. I know you guys know, but a lot of people don't know on this Facebook. This stuff is, this show, like you talking about them. That's why I don't worry about what nobody else say, because we got the power to say what we want. Those guys can get their narrative crossed on the Chop Shop. That's why I said I'm not gonna foster a show that talks negative all the time about. Now hold up, I'm gonna hold them accountable. If they wrong, they wrong. But I'm not gonna sit up and talk negative about African American. Not on this show. That's why I'm always gonna have another retort when somebody come on here and say something. So I welcome Alan Branch, and I know you got some stuff to share with us. But it's some monumental things that's happening in sports, y'all. It's a shift. Chris Walker said a few months ago, Hatter, we got a 3-year window with this George Floyd stuff. We better get what we can right now. And guess what? It's happening. Welcome, Alan Branch. How you doing?
Hey guys, how y'all doing? It kind of drugged me in. I was multitasking. I was listening to some things, and I felt like Jimmy might have been getting ganged up on there a little bit. So I will kind of come try to rescue him from a evaluator standpoint. You've heard me say many times that all the apples don't get ripe on the tree at the same time, and it's a body of work we talk about. It's a period of time that guys progress. You guys were talking about Devin Booker. I was working with Antonio Curro, NY2LA, and I covered Devin Booker at a couple of EYBLs in 2 years. Liked it because I like guys that shoot the ball and it comes off their hand clean like that. But the next level stuff that you see him doing now is stuff that he has developed. He's developed into a guy that's a 2 and 3 level scorer. You know, he had the one dribble separation, pull up, always shot the ball extremely well, but the physicality and where you see him playing through contact, that was not who he was originally. Tyler Hero is another kid that I'll compare to. I was really, really excited when I was there in Chicago one time working a camp, and I told them what I thought about Tyler Hero. The kid that's working with the Thunder now, one of the past guys. I know him very well. I'm messing his name up. But I told him he was just getting started. I said, that's what they look like when they're in the 7th and 8th grade right there. And it was the mechanics of the release and seeking balance on all of his shooting. Emmanuel Mudiay probably didn't become a good, solid NBA player because of the balance and the ability to perfect or could become a consistent shooter at multiple levels and multiple places on the floor. And that's what Chris Walker is telling you about as far as the concern on pretty soon the numbers are analysis. And the big overlook picture, you want to look at it from an NBA perspective, is the simple fact that these guys can't see these guys all the time, so they're making decisions on numbers. I'll give Jamie Dixon the credit. Branch, I think you're great. Thank you for I pay these guys all together about $1 million a year. I think they're pretty good evaluators. But you know what he always tells me? Show me the numbers, because numbers don't sleep. Numbers are there when you're not there. I was talking to one of Rob Pelinka's guys just a couple of days ago that does a lot of representation. They do a lot of things with the numbers in the representation business and trying to make sure that the perspective in which numbers are shown, but at the end of the day, the numbers are going to tell a particular story. Does not eliminate the eye test, but one of the main reasons I came on, we were talking about AJ, the kid from over at College Station that I actually was present at that conversation that Jimmy's talking about, where a dude was jumping on and said, "Oh man, you didn't know this, you didn't know that. You had AJ." I can't think. I say AJ Hardeman. Walker knows what I'm talking about. It's not AJ Hardeman. Lawson. AJ Lawson, right? You had AJ Lawson at the time. He was a man amongst boys. In his 9th grade year, he came to Rucker on Wood, just like you said, in a couple of camps around, and he was playing physical, making some open shots. I have a picture of the kid with Sacramento, Fox. I have a picture of him when he was in the 8th grade, and from shoulder blade to shoulder blade was about that wide. He was not prepared at that time to be who he evolved to be. I saw it coming. I told Keith White right there at the gym one day, so he's gonna be the best one when it's all said and done. But that don't make him the best one today. And that's why I use the term. It's an evolution. You know, everybody wants to jump on and create a narrative and shift. That's one of the things I love about the numbers is, and I told Chris Walker, our company is not about who's the best player. It's about who played the best. You know, which kind of evolves around some of Jimmy Hicks's thinking that kind of differ. I'm more of a projection type guy when it comes to naked eye. Jimmy just puts it out there and said, this is who did this and who did that. You know, and who's the best. But I want to rescue Jimmy on that one. Don't y'all jump on my guy down there in Houston.
Man, please, Jimmy don't know what he's talking about, man.
Man, ain't nobody thinking about Jimmy, man. Hold up.
I'm old. I always come try to help you, Jimmy.
Hey,
I stopped doing what I was doing.
This show was built on me talking about Jimmy. So you gonna? I ain't thinking about you. That stuff you talking about.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing though. I'm gonna tell you one I got wrong, and I'm gonna admit it on the Chop Shop. Trae Young, I got that one wrong.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah, you told me.
Because you were actually really close to Rayford.
So what part of
Trae
Young, what part did you feel convicted on in the premature days of evaluating him? What grounds were you standing on that you felt that Trae Young was not?
I thought he was a typical kid that played in a situation where he shot a lot of balls. He was a volume guy, even at Oklahoma. He always got the best cut of the meat and never really challenged and then even his first years in the NBA, the analytics said he'll never be a winner. And you put some dudes around him, you give him a little structure, some reality, you put some coaching around him, and voila, you look what's happening. Just got it wrong. And his size, he's just a small dude. But you know what's funny, man? I was at Cal. I got a picture with Steph. I wish I could show y'all the picture, man. If you saw how small Steph Curry was, you wouldn't believe it. That dude's so little. You be like,
tall though.
Man, he's 6'3".
Yeah,
6'3", but he's little.
But 6'3" is in the higher percentiles of people in the world.
But 6'3" and probably a $105 wet. I'm saying this.
But guess what? You couldn't push him off his spot. You couldn't push him off the spot.
But hear me though. What I'm saying is, a guy like Iman Shumpert is a physically imposing dude. Like, he's nothing like.
And he out the league.
No, he had the league now. I'm just saying in retrospect, I'm saying like guys that have those, like, he ain't big as KCP is a lot bigger than him. I'm just saying that Steph Curry is not a big guy, but he is absolutely ridiculous. And as another one I got wrong. You watch him, you're like, no way. But because I remember the Charlie Weber tournament, Jimmy, back in the day in DC. We played against Dale Curry when he had little ball beaters out there. Steph Curry was one of them, about 5'9", running around, shoot 10 everybody up. But he was like, yeah, he ain't gonna grow, man.
He was little.
That dude never grow. Grew to be 6'3", and the rest is history. I'm just saying Trae Young is one of them guys, got crazy handles, but the one thing Trae Young can do, and we talked about Sharif Cooper, what can Trae Young do?
Shoot.
What can Steph Curry do? Shoot the ball.
Score it.
Shoot the ball.
Shot the ball. I was on the same page with
you know what else
Walker.
they can do? I mean, really, they can make other players on the court better.
Oh yeah.
They create space.
That's what
they create space. But one thing I want to add to the Trae Young relentless work ethic. Trae Young got better at creating separation. He got better playing through contact. When he was younger, he avoided contact. He avoided traffic. And that's part of the reason. I mean, Chris Walker and I watched them together on more than one occasion. I remember what Chris thought. Chris was actually really close to Rafer. His father had a good relationship. And but it was the fact of the volume shooting, not playing through much contact, no paint touches, and was not seeking that. But you saw him evolve. I was a good friend of Lou Hill and the Crutchfield. Yeah, so I was talking to them on a regular basis. I know the work that was going in for him to develop it, like a Buddy Hill. I know the work that those guys put into those guys to get them from where they were as a high school player. You know, the only thing that brought me on was a Devin Booker deal, was the fact, you're talking about Kentucky, and there's so many things that come into who you start and in a college atmosphere. Nobody knows it's better than Chris Walker, but there's a strategic goal here toward winning, and who you start and who you come off the bench. I've seen good coaches keep a guy in a place when we need a punch. This is the guy that's going to create that punch for me. And good guys that really know how to come off the bench. I know guys that, no, coach, I'm good. Let me come off the bench. You know what they're doing? They're sitting there reading what's going on, and they know where the vulnerability is at the time. And so as soon as you put them in the game, they go light you up because they see exactly what's not being guarded, who's not paying attention on defense, where the blind spots are, if you will, or dead spots.
But Brance, the thing is, those guys were super successful, man. So it's hard to really like how like
you can't start 7 guys. You're right.
They went to the Final Four, man. Like
I just said that.
Like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, it was unbelievable, dog. So, Booker getting better is great, but this dude is like, they're talking about this dude like Kobe. Like, they're talking about like,
there ain't nobody said that, but that crazy man.
He said it made no sense. One of them ESPN dudes said that.
Yeah, you know who.
I don't see that.
Good, I got something for y'all.
I think he'd be a superstar. He's a superstar. He's not just a star. He's a superstar.
But I had a before you inject some. I want to throw something in there.
Come on.
Then to the statement you say, well, there's 7. Everybody can't start.
Right.
U of H went to the Final Four. Tremont Mark started a couple of games this year. Those teams that are good normally find a way to blend in and mix in and collaborate their starting lineups every now and then. It's not a set 5. Kentucky, they were adamant. They made a statement that Booker wasn't going to start. That was done on purpose. Or the Harrison twins starting was done on purpose. Remember, put it like this. I'm going to give you the flip side. Remember, I use Kansas again as an example. Remember when Quentin Grimes was at Kansas? That were people that was obvious eyes and saying, wait, Quentin Grimes at that time was not the best guard in the Kansas roster. But Quentin Grimes started every single game. And after it was done, speaking with that staff, I know what I was told, that they kept him in the lineup because him in the starting lineup, if they would have benched Quentin Grimes, you're talking about a mental health, they may have lost Quentin Grimes, and he might not have been the same person at all if they would have benched him, because he would have went from first string to probably third string.
In retrospect, given what's going on now, they was right to start him. How about that?
But remember, think about it. Quentin
But,
Grimes
but,
got
but,
death.
Right
He
to start.
received death threats. He
but
received
what
death
Jimmy,
threats. I mean, almost weekly, almost daily
Okay, I
from
get it. I
Kansas
get it.
fans.
I get it. That's stupid. That's stupidity. I'm just saying, as a coach, you also know I got to start this dude because this gives me the best chance of winning. Forget about whether his mind. He right because you're a coach. You get to decide what's what. But given how this thing is played out, and that's the same thing we're talking about with Devin Booker and the Twins. Though the Harrison twins might have been better than him then, who's to say if they didn't start Devin Booker, they'd have won a national championship? Who's to say that? If Booker wasn't the guy they went with, that's how you got to look at it. I'm not saying that's not the case. Look how it's all turned out.
No,
I don't know
listening
if I
to
totally
y'all.
agree with that, Chris. At the time, just me personally
I'm just
knowing
saying,
what
man.
Devin
If
Booker
he was
was.
empowered,
I understand the rationale of it, but I'm going to play on your expertise again. The simple fact comes down to it, Walker. You know, it's all about personnel and the scouting report. We put the guys in place. Sometimes guys say, well, my guy not in the game right now. Why did they take him out the game? You got a matchup issue. You can't make free throws late in a tight game. There's so many things that come into strategically coaches are trying to win. I sit there and watch the USA 19 stuff for 3 days and with probably 15, 20 other NBA guys and drew a lot of conclusions. But at the end of the day, Jamie and James Jones and those guys, they picked the guys based on the guys that they knew they had to go play overseas to
but
represent
hold
the
up,
United
Branch.
States.
But let me stop you on that, Branch, because I'm gonna challenge you on that.
Mhm.
The Harrison twins could start as was political, so I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Because if you started one and then start the other one, you already know what you could have been dealing with. Let's get that straight.
Great
So
point.
let's not say
Great point.
number two, Branch. There was a dude that got cut from the thing, and I told you I went to a pro day, and I said, yo, this kid right here got cut, and you told me he was one of the top 7 players there, and you didn't know how he got cut.
That's true. I mean, one of the top 7 talents there. One of the top 7 talents.
Same thing.
And yeah, I mean, and the point is that there were guys that didn't make the U19 team that have a better chance of playing in the NBA. And I use the word chance, have a better chance of playing in the NBA than some of the guys that stayed on the team. That's a fact. I'll go on record telling you that.
Right. So my point is to go back to Devin Booker is that maybe if Cal empowered Devin Booker more than one of them twins, he might have another national championship.
I got you.
That's the only point.
Okay.
That's an arguable point.
That's a good one.
He was definitely a real clean shooter. I compare
because we know
at the same time, not where they are now. Yeah, I mean, the Harrison twins were different. Andrew was more of a facilitator, run the team type situation, and other. Did you go on mute? I can't see what had a laugh.
No, Chris. No, I'm laughing.
No, we
Chris.
just get comments.
Chris. No, let me show you something, y'all. I saw something the other night. I taped it. I don't know if y'all watched The Shop. LeBron's thing that I think they stole from us.
That he stole from us?
Yeah. But it was a unique thing Draymond said, and it made me think about it when y'all were talking about it, because he was talking about, he said there's a lot of dumbasses out here. And all they can, and you can tell by their criticisms. You're talking about the people out here, the writers. He said, there's a lot of dumbasses out here, and you can tell by their criticism. Because they're always saying, Draymond, why don't you shoot? He said, if I can get Steph Curry the ball for a shot, why would I shoot the goddamn ball? He said, you're actually a freaking idiot for thinking I should shoot because I can but I can get him a shot. He said, if y'all don't understand, if he this much open, he's better than anybody else in the world. And y'all telling me I should be hunting shots? It's crazy, but it made so much sense. He said, I know my role. But I know some people be out there talking about Draymond need to shoot. And Chris, you probably done said that before.
Draymond don't need to shoot. No, Draymond does not need to shoot.
But he said, but I think this is a lesson to everybody. If I got the best shooter in the world, Why waste that possession on me shooting a damn brick? Branch?
No, he's got
Hey.
he's got two of the best shooters in the world. As soon as the other one gets healthy,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, Draymond take 3 or 4 shots to keep him honest, some elbow mid-range stuff just to keep him honest here and there. But that's not his role.
He's a glue guy. Draymond's a glue
guy.
guy. He's a glue guy.
He's a glue
But
guy. He knows the
people
role.
still say to him,
that's a big part of winning, though, Coach.
Yeah, people still say to him, "Why don't you shoot? Why don't you shoot? Why don't you shoot?"
Yeah, but who are the people that are
Who
saying
are the
that?
people?
That's what he calls people in the press. Y'all done seen that before. Come on, y'all
Yeah,
done
but a lot
been
of those
around
people,
too long.
man. They don't know ball screens from a
From
triple in
full
baseball.
court.
And they just gotta roll. But I'll say this, is that, you know, getting back to what we're talking about, like, you know, coaches making decisions in politics. You know, you talk about like summer basketball and you talking about like college basketball. That's another thing. And you talking about Draymond. When you pick a school, and I look at you look at that transfer portal. I think Branch is about 500, maybe Virginia's about 500 kids left in that transfer portal. When you
There's going to
pick
be
a
some
school,
left in there permanently. Well, go ahead.
when you pick a school, you need to understand whatever they do before you get there is what they're going to do when you get there. They're not changing because you coming. If they don't run ball screens before you get there, they ain't running ball screens when you get there. It's not going to happen that way. It doesn't work like that. If they don't they don't shoot threes on the break before you get there, they ain't shooting threes on the break when you get there. Coaches are creatures of habit. This is the way they play. That's why a lot of NBA coaches get fired, because they're like, man, we ain't. Stan Van Gundy. You know who should get fired? They should have let him keep his job. They should have fired the GM, the one that hired Alvin Gentry, because like Alvin Gentry bought this dude and fired him after 1 year. They should have fired him. I mean, the way these guys get their starts, man, is unbelievable. Because they told me how this dude got his start, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This dude's running a team? Because all they do is they start out in these low levels and they just work their way up through the organization, and then all of a sudden, guess what? Everybody's taking their word as gospel.
Jimmy got
right.
a good story.
But some of them, Chris, are going. Remember, we said it last week, and this is one of the new things that I installed, and we applied just like this past weekend. There are some people in Dallas. They have different people may have parties going on, and there's nothing wrong with doing a little party, but if you have an opportunity to go and be somewhere at another gathering that may be special, and a special moment can be created, and you got some guys that can get together, collective minds, and you're really trying to push something through and strengthen relationships in that facet, that's maybe some people at the wrong party. So those young guys, there's another person walked them on in. Come on with me. You ever been somewhere at those events, Final Four, All-Star Weekend, and somebody say, man, they might have a +1, or they might just feel like going by themselves, or they might have seen something in you that you didn't know that they didn't see yourself. Come with me. Come on, let's roll. And they take you and you get into the room, and you don't realize until you get there, like, wow, look who's in this room. Wow. That means the person who brought you there, they're investing in you. They're investing their time in you. And then now you get a chance to meet people. Now you see them again. They remember you from your what you said and did in that room. That's how those relationships start, Chris, with certain people. Like when you mentioned from Van Gundy's, and we know in Houston, Gerson Rojas, Gerson was a volunteer assistant coach at Westbury Christian High School. Guys, he was a volunteer assistant coach at a high school in Houston, where you did not even have to be certified as a coach to teach at. Wasn't a teacher, volunteer coach.
But what's your point? What's your point to that?
Only 15 years ago.
What's your point to that, Jimmy? Because give me the guy that was a volunteer black assistant at Bel Air High School, and what is he the GM of right now? Because I think that's the important thing. Like, tell me the guy that started out as working as the mechanic and now is the CEO of Ford.
That's exactly. See, here's the thing. That's exactly what I'm on that side of the fence. That means we would rather go to the party where what glitz is at and glamour is at than if somebody say, understand, for example, Final Four, go back a couple years. Let's say if the Pumps are having a party tonight. And at the same time, there's and let's say if Hatter is in the agent, is inspiring to be an agent. But there are agents, and we all know at the Final Four, agencies throw multiple parties. They're not advertised. Somebody got to bring you to them for their clients and All-Star weekend as well. But if I know you're an aspiring agent, I'm gonna take, hey, Hatter, I got somewhere for you to go, man. Come with me. I ain't gotta tell you what. I don't have to bait and put it in front of you. I'm gonna take you to meet all these agents. Come with me. I got somewhere for you to go. Now, and you have to say, no, I'm good, because you got 2 passes to the Pumps party. You see, a lot of us are going to the wrong parties, and that's your choice.
Was it some opportunities to have what the college coaches at certain spots or hotels for this weekend? Were they in places that I mean, what was those opportunities allowed this weekend up in Dallas?
There are always coaches that are going to go eat, whether it be Papa Do's, whether it be Tipper Do's, whether it be whatever restaurant. You have somebody normally going to bring. That's what I'm saying. That means your relationship, the company that which you keep, is going to be able to say, "Come with us, man. We're gonna be over here tonight. Be over here. Meet us over here at 7." And if you come, and it might be great fruitful for you. If you don't, then that's your choice.
Piggyback on what Jimmy's saying, especially in the Division I college coaching world, he's 100% right. The number one reason that guys, besides aptitude, ability, and resume, don't hire guys is I don't know him. Guys make it a point. I'm not hiring anybody I don't know. Because you know what that means? I don't trust them. But what Jimmy is saying is, especially with the young guys and the guys that are part of sports resources, they know it. And Jimmy could look around the room in some situations that we're in. How many sports resources guys were sitting in that room at that table where we were, Jimmy? They were there for a reason. They need to know who Jimmy Hicks is. They need to be comfortable with Jimmy Hicks. They need to be comfortable with Alvin Brooks. They may have a DFW connection and may have a weaker Houston connection. They want to be called themselves full-blown Texas guys, and vice versa. Some of the Houston guys need to be more comfortable with DFW situations and their national situations. We get the NBA Top 100 camp. We'll go and, for years we've gone to the coach's house and watched a fight or watched the NBA finals. It's being in the environment and being in the right room allows that to happen. There's been a couple of times that I've been invited at some Final Fours, and there where Chris was here, and gone to situations where I was maybe a little fish out of water, but you have to learn how to swim in those rooms. And when you learn how to swim in those rooms, when the next time that you're in their company again, there'll be a higher sense of familiarity. And that's what people have to understand. People want to go a lot of times in business stuff and go where they can go have a good time. And sometimes it's not all about a good time. It's about going and finding a level of comfort in that room.
And Branch, as accomplished as Chris Walker is in the basketball community, I saw, just by me talking to him, Chris, when you were in Chicago this weekend, you were getting in rooms that you wasn't normally in. You were talking to people, and I could tell when me and you off air, when you come back and giving me intel and telling me about what's going on, I'm saying, oh, Chris been talking to this guy. Chris been talking to this guy. I can tell. But Chris,
which is why I don't give up sources and stuff. I give you little nuggets.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want to, because that compromises being in the room. The same way they talk to me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, this is what's going on. Just so you know, if you see this doesn't make, this is this and this and that. So, right. Sometimes you do. I did go to a mixture that an agent had where coaches were in there, because you got to realize some of these agents represent coaches too. They don't just represent players. They represent people in media. But if you want to get the know of what's going on, I'm telling you, man, a lot of these people you see, man, they don't look like they belong in that industry. You'd be like, how the hell this dude getting this? Some of them people I sat and had dinners with, I went to more dinners and lunches with, and I'm sitting there going like, man, like, and here's the thing, when you say intimidated, you always have to look in the room, man. I always say, like, never walk a mile in a man's shoes, right? When you start talking, when you see it, once you give it the intimidation of, oh man, that dude must be this because he got that patch on his shirt. Man, the minute that dude opened his mouth, you're like, man, I'm 10 times smarter than this dude, man. How the hell did this dude get this? Relationships. That's how he got there. He wasn't smarter than you. That's why I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, does Jimmy always say, would you rather have $1 million or 1 million friends? Get you a bunch of friends. The more friends you got, the more you can grow. I'm just
People,
telling you.
people, people,
Get
people
smart as you
help the
want.
people that they like. People help people that they
Yeah.
like, they know, and they trust.
Yeah, and
That's
you
the
can be
people
as
that they
smart as
help.
you want. Being smart is great. Being connected is better though. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be connected. I'd rather be connected. Hey, I was watching something. I want y'all to jump on this, and you know who I got a newfound respect for? Bill Russell.
Oh my goodness.
Did y'all watch the 30 for 30 on the Lakers and the Celtics? And it happened right around they were talking about the stuff with Kyrie. And I watched it the other morning. Man, Bill Russell did stuff, and I hated the Celtics. Let me tell you something. I feel bad now, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I don't want to make it the parallel to critical race theory about not knowing about what happened during those times, so you can be more informed about how to move forward in your life. I didn't realize that Bill Russell was as militant as he was. I did not realize that. And I mean, again, I knew certain things about him, you know what I'm saying? But did you know that Bill Russell did not allow the fans to come when he got his number retired?
No, he didn't come in.
Prime
No, you
ceremony.
remember he canceled the first one. They had
Absolutely.
one. He said he didn't want to come, and they had to do it because he said he wouldn't want. Because you remember what the fans did to him. They broke
Yeah.
in his house and defecated on his
Yes.
furniture and on his couch.
Yes. And another thing was people talk about the Boston franchise. He brought up Red Auerbach. Again, you're talking about, you know, ancient history, and you don't know, we weren't there. The Celtics first black team in black first team to have a black coach in the NBA integrated. Second team, first team to have all black starting five, right? And I didn't know that Bill Russell was the first black coach of any professional sport.
Yes,
I did not know that.
yes.
I mean, I'm listening going like, man, Bill Russell. And you know what? It made me sick because I never forget All-Star Weekend. I'm not gonna say who again. Everybody gonna be like, oh, you ain't gonna say these NBA guys. These NBA guys were talking in the locker room. They were disrespecting Bill Russell like crazy, man.
They didn't know no better, Chris.
They didn't know no better, and it was all that looked like us.
Yeah,
Disrespecting Bill Russell like crazy.
because
Not
ain't
knowing what that
nobody
dude.
taught them. That's why we got the always. It's called ways of knowing. How these
Yeah.
kids gonna know if they mamas and they daddies ain't taught them? The, and I,
But here's the thing that blew me away watching that again. And I saw him. I shook his hand, talked to him, spent some time with him, Jerry West. And I'm watching this documentary, and they didn't beat them 6 times, right? Never beat the Celtics, never beat Bill Russell. Because when they beat Bill Russell retired. When they beat the Celtics, Bill Russell won, right? They end up beating the Knicks to win the championship. Why did they call Jerry West Mr. Clutch if he never beat the Celtics? No, I'm serious.
he hit
Why
a
would they
couple of
call
cut
him
shots. He hit a couple of cut shots in
Hatter?
other games.
They never beat the Celtics
It
six
just it
times in the
shows
finals.
you the power. It shows you the power of a narrative when it is
Thank you very
when the
much.
narrative
I've
has been
seen him hit
gathered.
some clutch shots though.
And he's the logo. And this dude never beat the Celtics 6 times
Why is there
in
so
the
much
finals.
of a why is there so I ask you three guys, why is there so much of a
Unbelievable.
mystique or question about whether Jerry West is the actual logo or not? You hear
He's
that
the logo.
argued.
He's
Yeah.
the logo.
I mean, wait,
He's the
Me personally, Branch, I don't think it was set out to say he was the greatest player. They just used his silhouette. If you go back to the history of it, it wasn't a big deal in the beginning. We making a big deal out of it now
in
because
today's world, right.
we got the ultimate
Yep.
silhouette. I'm sorry, Chris.
No doubt. We got MJ. But
Yeah.
here's the other thing. The thing is, they were again. We're talking about busing and stuff back then, and Boston and how it polarizes. They said that the Celtics, even though the Celtics had Bill Russell and they were winning championships, the Boston Bruins were in last place and they sold out every game. And the Celtics, even though we're winning championships, could not sell out the arena because they had predominantly black players. And the minute that Dave Cowens, and I forget the other guy, became the best
Havlicek.
players on the team,
Havlicek.
they sold out the arena.
Yes. And I got something else to add. Do you remember the New York Knicks? Do you remember their nickname used to be, Chris?
Oh, the you know what Bockers?
Yes,
That's right.
The New York N-word Bockers, because
right.
they had the I mean, hey man.
Walt Frazier.
Yes, Earl of Pearl Monroe, Willis Weed. But
it's crazy. But again, and they talk and it's craziness, and the people don't realize how far the NBA has come, and from being taped to the league. And they were talking about when Magic and Bird first came to the league, and how Bird, when Bird came there, the Celtics took off again, and talking about Magic. But it really goes to show you, when you talk about what Michael Jordan did, it really gave some credence to what Magic was.
Yes,
Magic
saved the league.
Magic
He saved the league.
Saved the league.
He saved the league.
Bird did too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Bird too. But we talking about Magic right now. I thought
Magic saved the league.
Yeah.
And they also talked about, and I guess why I brought this up, because we talk about player empowerment.
Okay.
Paul Westhead was the coach, and the Lakers started off struggling, right? And I'm gonna draw a parallel. And Paul Westhead, Magic hung out with the owner.
Yes.
Just like Trae Young hang out with the Atlanta Hawks owner. Okay. And guess who ended up being gone?
Westhead.
Paul Westhead. Guess what Pat Riley was before he went to the bench? An announcer.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Steve Kerr was what? An announcer. I mean, it's it's crazy, but Pat Riley became Pat Riley. I mean, I'm not saying Pat Riley was a great coach, but you had Magic, Worthy, Scott,
Kareem,
McAdoo,
Byron Scott,
Norm Nixon.
Yes.
Actually, got rid of Norm and brought in. But
say, hold on. Hey, that's Cornbread Earl and me, baby. Cornbread Earl and me.
Jamal Wilkes.
But Jamal Wilkes.
There you go.
But they were talking about how they had a problem with Magic being friends with the owner. They had a problem.
Oh yeah, they used to do some things together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a major, and then they gave him a big contract, $25 million in 25 years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's a gambling money on the plane today. But I'm just saying that it was a different era back then.
Different era.
But
Definitely a different era.
What was going on in Watts? Because I mean, it was a different era back then. The NBA was on tape delay. People don't remember the NBA wasn't shown live back then.
No.
And
Showed after the news.
They showed it after the news, and those guys changed the league. And Mike came around and just took it to a whole other level and made it stratospheric. But the NBA, the way we see it today, and what these guys have done is nothing like it was. Those dudes took this thing. I encourage everybody to watch that documentary, man. That thing taught me a lot, and I got a new profound respect for Bill Russell. Oh my God!
About time you got something for somebody black. Thank you.
But you know what's funny? But nobody ever talks about him as being one of the greatest ever. Is he in your top 10, Hatter?
Who? Bill Russell.
Chief Sheet, is he in your top 10, Chief Sheet?
He got the most championships.
So would you rather have James Harden or would you rather have Bill Russell?
Here's the thing.
Bill Russell.
The thing, though.
You talking about
Here we go again. People, when you ask people about their top 5, top 10, who's the best ever, there are not no directives or stipulation or criteria that's being requested to inject into that decision. So you may be putting the whole body of work into it. The next guy may only be talking basketball. And that's two different judgments, totally. And it's like the Hall of Fame. Remember, the Hall of Fame is your basketball career supposed to be only, right? For basketball. It has nothing to do with what you did or how many times you got arrested or what you did, right? It's supposed to be your basketball career only. Mm-hmm. It's okay, but they give that directive and that criteria is established to the voting members so that way they'll know. So the general public knows that. So when you say who's the best ever, that's why the thing where a lot of people feel like you feel so way, some people feel so fondly about LeBron James is because a lot of people are factoring in what LeBron has done off the basketball court.
Not the fact that he's going to be the all-time leading scorer. That doesn't matter.
That does matter. But then if you got other stuff going on It can take hits against your credibility if a person is using it to judge you, or it can give credits to your criteria. And that's important. It really is. It really does go with it. Think about it like this.
That's true.
Hold on. Think about it like this. In the communities, there could be two pastors on opposite blocks of churches, and one pastor can always have a back to school drive. One pastor can always go on after Sundays. They can open their doors and feed some of the people in the community. That has nothing to do with his ability to preach at all. But when you ask those people who the best, which church is the best, say, man, we love that pastor over there. This is what he does. That he does something that may directly touch your heart or something that interests you. That's the thing about this stuff.
All Jimmy's talking about is likability. People have a certain affinity to people when people light up rooms. They feel like they got a good heart. They feel like their heart's in the right place. Just like when you make bad choices. I'll tell you, I'll take this over, Jimmy. I might be reaching a little bit, but tell me, do you struggle sometimes when you see a player and you know he doesn't have a talent issue, but you're nervous about his off-the-court activities and going out on a limb and going all the way with him because you're not sure what might jump off with this kid?
I give the college coaches a disclaimer. Me personally, and Haller even knows that. I give the disclaimer to those coaches. Chris Walker, you know that as a college coach. If there's a disclaimer with a kid, and the coach is asking me, now I'm not publicly writing it, but I'm letting you know, coach.
And that's my point right there, Jimmy. We can't put the disclaimer on the website. We know that we give a disclaimer when we're talking off the record. But sometimes I may feel like I may leave a kid at 7 or 8 because I just don't trust him representing us at 1 because of some questionable, I hate to say questionable character, but questionable environment, questionable past choices, questionable peers, circles, social habits, those things.
I'll tell you this though. When I was at the combine, a lot of the conversations, you know what they're around? I think my screen's a little bit frozen, but you know what those conversations were around? Those conversations were around those interviews. They say a lot of kids hurt themselves in an interview. So I'm sitting there going like, well, hold on. It's not like a guy's going to say he raped a girl, stole something out of a store. What is it that he could say in his interview that's going to hurt him where you don't want to draft him to be a basketball player? Man, you'd be surprised at what come out of some of them kids' mouths, man.
And you know what the worst thing about it is? I always kind of tell like the FBI, they come and send all these forms to us, and we fill out all this background information, and they verify the information is true, and they go in there and sit down with the kid and ask him, do you like blue shoes or red shoes? And they know that the kid has never worn nothing but red shoes and loves red shoes and posted everywhere he likes red shoes. And the kid turn around and say, I like blue shoes. You know, I mean, I'm being sarcastic to make a point, is that they go do all their intel, all their research, and a lot of times those kids will go just the opposite of what they already know to be a fact or true or based on what history says. That makes them scratch their head sometimes. They do a lot.
Or to Branch's point, they don't ask questions that they don't already know the answers to.
They don't ask questions they don't. Yeah.
And then it's a credibility thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I heard you got caught smoking weed. Oh no, that's not true. Dude, you failed 7 drug tests. And then the kid goes in there and lie, makes up 9 million other, to the point where one guy had to pull a kid to cotton. Listen, man, you ain't got to tell the whole truth, man. like you got to learn in these interviews because it's a kid and it's like a dude interviewing and it's like 10 other dudes just looking at him. How many times those kids been in that situation?
I got a secret. I got a secret for those kids right now. Got a secret for them. If the NBA or the NFL team asks you a question, young man, they already know the answer to it.
There it is right there. I don't know how well you can see it if it show up on the deal. There's an Intel template right there with all the answers to the test already.
Branch, hold on a second. I'm going to repeat what I just said. Young man. Right.
I heard you.
No, but they didn't hear you because you were talking. They didn't hear it. If you're in these meetings, these interviews, and they ask you a question, they already know the answer to the question.
And here's the funny thing, Hatter. So I asked this one particular team who says, we don't even care, we'll draft them anyway, right? Because they were making fun. It was a couple different teams there. And I said to myself, you know what's funny? I started challenging myself as a college coach. We want talent so bad sometimes, we just look past certain things. And then guess what happens when he get to college? He bring that same mess right there to where we are. And then guess what we do? Blame the kid. Blame the parents.
Chris.
When we didn't do our research, I remember, Jimmy knows this story. I remember a kid, I was at UMass. Jimmy know the kid.
I know the story too.
I'm actually flying on 9/11. Branch know the kid too. I was flying on 9/11 back to Houston to recruit him. Jimmy, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. From Houston, went to Westside High School. Played for David Salinas. Flying back.
Didn't have a basketball problem.
Didn't have a basketball problem. This kid, I didn't know this, so we recruited him. And I you know what? I got to be careful how I tell the story because you know the kid still lives in Houston. I don't want to embarrass him, but the kid had an issue. Jimmy didn't know about it either. He played for Salinas, but Salinas them didn't tell me. But guess who else didn't tell me, Hatter? The family didn't tell me. The kid had a problem touching other people's stuff. You feel where I'm coming from?
He's keep going.
No. He had a legitimate psychological problem.
No, they had a term for it back then. They called it kleptomaniac.
Yeah, that's still a term.
Still a term. They go to work.
That ain't no back then.
Back then,
kleptomaniac. Well, come on, Chris.
He was a kleptomaniac, and he could not, and he got in trouble at school. And I went back and I said, "Yo, man, what the hell? Like, did y'all not tell me this? Like, what the hell is going on?" Man, come to find out, he also takes from his mama. And they knew.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about a kid that was a thief. We're talking about a kid that had I remember the situation. He had a psychological disorder.
Hold on, Branch. Last point I'm going to make, and you can take it.
So, hold on. That kid, how did it end at his college, Chris? How did it end at his college? So people know what I'm saying. How did that?
I mean, obviously he had to go. But what the other thing I ended up finding out was that the kid, right, saw his father end his life drinking battery acid.
He what?
Yeah.
I am finding all this out when this dude's got a UMass uniform on. You understand what I'm saying?
He found his father doing what?
Drinking battery acid and killed himself. So what I'm saying is, when you talk to these kids and these parents, when they think that stuff doesn't matter, man, you got to do your research, man. You got to know what you bring into your university, man. Because as a college coach, the one thing you don't want to do is you want to be able to go home from that school and sleep at night and enjoy your life. When you start bringing them dudes up there where you don't know what they doing, that means you at work 24/7. And don't no college coach want that. I'm just telling you. That's why I'm saying, even in the NBA, that's why them dudes saying, "Hey, man, I'm about to pay this dude $40 million. I'm going to find out." You know how they do those medicals on them? I'm going to find out what's going on mentally. We're going to let the doctor going on medically. I'm going to find out what's going on mentally. Because whatever that dude is, that's what he going to do with us, and we're going to give him $40 million. Which means he can end up turning into a cub, from a cub to a lion. I'm just telling you. That's
you just enable it.
So hard. What's that?
I say you enable it when you with the finance fools. My grandmother used to say, you know, you can be a broke fool and you do broke level stuff. When you get the resources, then you escalate your activities escalate because you got the money to do it. You know, you can jump on the plane.
All I'm saying is do your research, man. Do your research on these dudes. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Them parents, why, you know, they got to realize college coaches are asking 90 million things. You don't even know what they're asking for at half the time. They talk to the pastor, they talk to the cousin, they talk to the coach, they talk to everybody, right? Because they want to know at the end of the day. And I was telling the guy this too. I said, listen, man, this is what y'all don't understand. When they bring these guys in, you come into the Boston Celtics to be a player. You come to sit on the bench, homie. They want to know what kind of person you are because you ain't playing. You're not playing in front of Jalen. You're not playing in front of Tatum. You're not playing in front of Marcus. You're not playing. So you're going to be the 12th guy.
How you going to react to that?
Sitting on the bench.
I get that question. And what Walker just said right there, I get that question a whole lot. How is he going to react to not playing? How is he going to react to being a career backup for us? Where that is the plan. Can he manage that role, Alan? You know, but one of the things I want to point out about, well, Walker's heard this before. All of y'all probably heard it, and it's kind of sad. Well, I guess it's not sad. It's a fact. Is his play bigger than his problem, and can we manage his problem? That comes out a lot of time. Walker, you've heard that before. I know you don't want to tell on your boys and stuff.
Problems.
Yeah, right. You know, or can we manage? I can manage it. I can watch him. I'll do this. I'll put a G over there with him. He won't never be like himself. He'll go over there. Yeah.
You can't watch him the whole time, bro. Hey, I got one thing. I know we over time, but I
got to roll myself.
If I didn't bring this up, and everybody, look at Sandra. Sandra stamping on the ant bed over there. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up.
We tried real hard, Sandra.
She's stamping on a clean ant bed.
We all tried real hard. We gave 100%.
No. What you're mentioning is, and I'm saying before you move on, because we're about to get ready to land the plane, but and that was a teachable. I'm saying I love teachable moments for people, and that is for mental health. And a lot of people try to conceal, but go out of their way to conceal. I understand everybody's situation isn't public issue, isn't for public use. It's like, for example, I really do applaud the parent who's used to be on all the time. She was on last week a couple of times. Ashley Williams Jones, Miss Ashley. Her son, Reuben Jones, was a former star at Yates. Well, Ashley was firmly aware that Reuben had a situation, a personal medical, situation. And in their recruitment, Ashley was adamant. She made it. She was consciously aware that whatever coach got her son, for the next 4 years, will have a great, vast understanding of how to interact with young men or young people with that type of medical diagnosis. And that means something. So that means she didn't put it on Facebook, everybody to know, but people that recruited her son, she let it be known. This is what my son is. This. He's great. And so there's been other students that came through, student athletes that, and I speak of course, now David Martinez is a high school coach at Atascocita. This is public news now, knowledge now. So I can speak on, he spoke on it publicly before, after it happened. He had a kid, don't say the kid name, about 10 years ago. This kid was autistic. And it was a situation.
He had that Alzheimer's.
That's what he had. Okay, Alzheimer's. So this is true stuff from a lot of our kids out there, your kids and relatives. So David Martinez, he used to coaching a certain way, and he had no vast, deep understanding of how to interact with student athletes of that diagnosis or with that situation. So David was trying to just tough it up with him. Oh man, it was a disconnect, and the kid ended up transferring.
I was talking to the parents all the way through that process. Alzheimer's, just to give it a quick 15-second deal. Those kids are extremely, extremely intelligent, but they don't have any sensitivity toward the deal. So if you said we're gonna do
reaction,
well, no, they're like almost photographic memory. So if you said something yesterday and you deviate the next day, he gonna call it to your remembrance. He doesn't care if you're Barack Obama, the Pope, or whoever. He'll turn around and say, "Coach, you said we we're gonna do this for 15 minutes yesterday. Why you change?" It just uncut. It just kind of Rain Man, matter of fact. Real good facts. One of the best shooters in junior college basketball, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, had Alzheimer's. And I had a coach that I helped work him through dealing with that situation. That kid happened to gravitate toward one of his younger sons, so he was easier to massage. But it's a really interesting thing. And that particular kid has gone on and got 2 degrees right now, by the way. That he's
But I
talking
will
about.
say this about that,
and
to piggyback on that, Jimmy, is that's why coaches need to steady evolve. Every
Mhm.
kid is not the same. Some people learn right, some people learn left. That's the beauty of coaching if you're really into it for the right reasons, instead of just trying to win a district championship and trying to do all those stupid stuff. Like coaching is a labor of love, man. And it takes time, just like teaching. It's not always easy, and it's a thankless job from the parents and usually from the kids. We've helped more kids. Branch and I have helped so many kids, man, that we can't even think of, that we probably will never come back and tell us thank you. But that wasn't why we were doing it. That wasn't why we were doing it. We were doing it because it was the right thing to do, and we wanted to give them an opportunity. Same way Jimmy started the chop shop. Same way Hatter does what he does, and dudes are screwing up these freaking contracts and stuff. It's a labor of love, and it's usually thankless, but we're doing it for us, not for them, because we're good people. And that's what and that's how we roll. And if you're associated with us, that's what you're gonna get. And if you're not, God, leave you up to your own devices. But I wanted to come back to this one thing, Jimmy, before we land the plane. And I know you and Branch got a lot to do with this. How much money did the TABC make this weekend? And the reason I say that is because those dudes, I'm not saying they anti-AAU, all these high school coaches and stuff, they got a taste of what summer basketball is like. And I'm telling you right now, it's never going anywhere again. And I like to hear both of y'all takes on it.
we actually, ironically, I told Hatter we got that subject and that topic on the pencil in for tomorrow because it's so much time.
But Branch might not be here tomorrow.
And Branch not gonna be here tomorrow.
Because that's what I want to talk about.
That topic.
That's a great topic.
That topic is a topic that can't be resolved in about 3 minutes, 4 minutes at all. We can let Branch speak on it. We can tap on it a little bit. But once again,
1 minute in on it.
Any AAU tournament ever made. Trust me on that.
What happened, Branch?
Yeah. It's the deal is that you got a chance to merge the two cultures. And now, in my opinion, that we'll call UIL-TAB the status quo, the conservative side of high school basketball versus the grassroots being the other side, actually merged together. And now TABC is probably have had an experience that they never had before, and they'll be seeking it again on a regular basis as much as opportunity allows them to.
Absolutely.
Say the last thing again. Say the last sentence again.
I said they'll be seeking it again as much as opportunity allows them to.
Damn right.
Yeah. No, they never seen it.
And expect them to double down. Guess what else you expect? See, one thing about it, a cow, I'll put it like this. Expect for the TABC moving forward to go, and when it comes to these type of opportunities, they're going to attempt to get milk from every titty on the cow when it comes in. Even so, I mean, they're going to do one in multiple cities next year. They're going to also seek to probably do girls. So that means from one event to 4 events.
Exactly.
You know what it's like. You know what it's like, Jimmy. Jimmy, remember this one. Go ahead.
They say it's different in college. It's different in AAU, right? So let me get this right. The coaches coached them, right?
No,
not all of them.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. The coaches didn't coach him. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it was a high school event.
Hey, Jimmy, you know this a lot.
Come on, man. What's the difference?
Jimmy, remember this one. We know you right, Walker. Everybody got that one. Jimmy, you know what it was a lot alike? You remember when the Kingwood Classic, there was only 2 states in the spring that allowed certified events because of the high school association and how big those were from a national perspective. It was somewhat similar to that type of atmosphere because it was the only choice on the menu. And when you're the only choice on the menu, it puts you in a very exclusive place, and that's what you saw a lot of.
Unbelievable, man. Hey, let's continue that tomorrow, man. I want to talk through that.
Indeed, I have a lot to share with you guys about it. about this, not that. It's just all those events are like across the country, not just limited and restricted to what happened in Texas. There were multiple
Arizona.
states that had events where Division I coaches could come. Texas, without a doubt, may have been. Well, it was easily one of the top 2 most populated ones when you think about fans and college coaches in attendance. It was estimated. I get more closer numbers by tomorrow from the administrators, but it was indeed a one of kind when you opportunity for the TABC, and a lot of those parents, they were happy as hell to pay $10. Every other event has been $15 a day, so they were happy to pay that $10 per day.
Please. But they pay $20
There was
to go
some
to
other.
go to the movies, and they go to Papa Do's and buy Swamp Thing for $15. Man, get out of here with that nonsense, man. Get out of here with that nonsense.
That's you be buying all them Swamp Thing.
I'm just saying, get out of here with that nonsense, man.
And as we get ready to leave, I want to share with you guys something. We close with this, and of course, like I said, Archie, if you're watching on the YouTube feed, Archie supplied a video, and we're gonna give you guys that video. I think we'll let you go out the door with that video. That way, they can just close the show watching a little short clip of things that took place in Duncanville, Texas / Dallas this past weekend. It's a little mixtape of who was in the place, faces in the place, and mixed with highlights. Also, we had, I don't remember what you talked at the top of the show, but when I got home, flew back in last night into Houston, got back in. You know it is. I watched TV, some of the stuff I taped, and one of the things I had taped was the BET Awards, and I had I mean, I'm down with that. I dig that. And I had a list of quick things that of note, and a lot of females are watching as well. That one of the things I noticed last night was 10 things. I had Cardi B's pregnancy statement. I like that from last night.
I didn't know her and the dude was back together. See, I'm lost.
Well, you know what? Know what that meant? I told Sandra. I say, no, that meant to me. That meant Cardi B must. I do. You know what? I didn't know. No,
she can shake that thing while she pregnant.
You know what it was? I didn't know Lil Baby from Da Baby until last night.
I still don't know him.
I know now. I know now because
Da Baby. Because I still don't know.
No, Lil Baby was the one that opened singing the gospel.
I didn't see the beginning.
So that was great for him crossing over and singing on a gospel tune with Kirk Franklin. That's so Lil Baby has more. He's more of a crooner a little bit. He can sing a little better than Da Baby.
Auto tuner, man.
Another thing. Hey, Bruno Mars.
Oh my goodness!
Is one of my new favorites in R&B. He is indeed the Sam Cooke.
You can't leave Anderson .Paak out, man. Hey, Jimmy, I'm gonna send you something to listen to on Anderson .Paak. It's a reason those two dudes that good. Dude, them two dudes.
I didn't know who that dude. I didn't know who the other dude was.
I'm gonna send you something on it when we get off the show. Send me something on him.
Guess what? Let me tell you why I like Bruno Mars. If you watch the video, the Black BET Awards again, watch Bruno Mars' hand when he goes up and get that acceptance speech at the first award. Watch what's in his hand. I always pay attention. I'm evaluating.
What do he have in his hand?
Bruno Mars had a flask. That's my type of.
Both of them had a flask. Jimmy, you missed it. Jimmy, you missed it. Both of them put it in their thing at the same time. Both of them had one.
They both were getting them a little hook.
Yeah, they getting them a little sip.
And let me tell you something. Know what Sandra told me? Because Bruno Mars, what they call him, Silk Sonny.
Jimmy, I done talked about this on the show already.
They going on tour this fall. She say, I want to go see them.
Before the tickets sell out, get there. I'm gonna get mine. I'm front row.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're a single man in America and you anywhere near where them dudes come to concert, single man, you better get that show. If you
win, Jimmy, hold up, Jimmy. I thought you was gonna say you like Lil Nas X.
No, man. I got my 10. Chris, we know that's on your 10. I got my 10. I'm on number 4 right now. My number 4
Hey, hold up,
Maxine,
y'all.
Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters gets credit for sitting through that entire show, watching all them twerking and ass dropping and all that cussing. Well, they don't beat the curse out for the people that's there live in person. We get it beat out for us.
Jimmy,
give Maxine a stripe on her sleeve for that.
Jimmy, I got something for you to take with you. Jimmy, do you know who's producing and put these two together? Boosie Collins. He came up with the name Silk Sonic. Boosie Collins is behind this whole thing, man. This whole move.
Boosie Collins got to be about 65, 70 years old now.
He said, what the name gonna be? He said, oh, y'all silky. Silk Sonic. Those two guys. Hey, man, Anderson .Paak, Jimmy, wait till I send you some of his stuff. You gonna say, that's this dude? Oh, he unbelievable. He's unbelievable talent. I saw him at the House of Blues. He played the drums, Jimmy. He the lead singer, but he be playing the drums. Why he said he one of those unique talents. But
now, as I get the number, I'm gonna round out my list of my 10 things. Her got respect for me. We knew she was talented already, so that ain't the issue. But she played 2 instruments. Yeah, now whether she lip sync whether she lip sync the instruments or not, but them drums was she can play
everything. She can play, but she ain't like
and the people that know her in the industry, they gave her credit. They know she's capable of doing hitting every note on that guitar that was dispersed. Also, let me tell you something. The most creative performance that I've seen in a long time on any award show, and that is this little rapper, Tyler the Creator. That song called "The Windstorm." Google that performance on the YouTube.
I taped it last night.
Listen, I'm just talking about Christian Allen. Google that on the YouTube. It's Tyler the Creator. His performance on the BET Awards. That is one of the most creative performances ever. Also, I got my number 7. I'm number 6. What was that on that yellow paper that Jasmine Sullivan mom wanted her to read?
Jim, I didn't see the whole thing, man.
Her mama kept trying to hand her that yellow piece of paper, and she finally grabbed it, but didn't even open it and read it. With her mom, that was a touching speech. Her mom is a cancer survivor, and just 2 years ago, but her mom was trying to get her to read something. Another one, the tribute to Queen Latifah.
I like that.
Is that Lil' Kim's first time singing publicly since back when she had a regular nose? Lil' Kim was up that, but Latifah, man, MC Lyte, Money Love, all those, and they're great on that. Also, Andra Day performing Strange Andra Day.
Yeah.
I like that, man. She tore that song up. That was great. And my last but not least is the DMX tribute. Those are my 10 members from the BET Awards last night. I want to give you guys a little dose of that. And we'll talk more. So Trey Phillips say her real name is Gabby Wilson. I would have changed my damn name if it was Gabby as well. She changed her name from Gabby Wilson. That's her real name. Her. But anyway, guys, it is about that time, man. Hey, great Monday as always.
Hold up, Jim. They can cut us off now. That's Anderson .Paak.
No, you can't. No, man, you don't mess up the good show because of him.
No, as long as I don't do over a certain number, but that's Anderson .Paak.
You got like 7, 8, 10 seconds, something like that. As long as you don't go over that.
You drunk up all my liquor and you trying to go home? No, you ain't doing that. You can't drink up all my liquor and try to go home. We got to do something.
I got to go back to work, man.
Bye, man.
I got to get back to generating revenue. I got the boss man over there cracking the whip. He over there, man. You was on Chop Shop a long time today. What you get done?
I got you out of there, Brad.
Please.
Guys, don't forget the motto. Share the show on your way out the door. Make sure you do that. Share the show to Chop tomorrow. And we have a special guest going to join us on tomorrow on the back nine. Also, we're going to dive into that conversation about name, image, likeness, because remember, they're meeting right now. The NCAA council is meeting right now to finalize their decision. The actual is going to reach the general public on Wednesday, but we will have some underground intel on that for you on tomorrow as well. We got that and a lot more, plus the NBA playoffs. We're going to recap more of them as well.
Somebody can go home tonight. Can't somebody go home tonight?
Yeah. Oh, every game that's played from here on out, damn near somebody can go home.
Not Atlanta. Atlanta is up 2-1.
Yeah. 2-1.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, we'll talk about the fight as well. I didn't see the fight. I was out of town.
I would have paid $2 to see that dude beat up his girlfriend. He beat up his girlfriend. I don't like him no more. Yeah, but
I don't like him no more. He beat up this weekend?
No, not this weekend, but before. I ain't like that.
And of course, yes, Astros. We'll be talking more Astros. They are in action tonight at the homestand. Of course, I'm in the building. That's why I got to go get ready and save some of my voice to root for these.
Y'all gonna get rained out, man. It's raining outside.
No, we inside, Doc. We in the dome.
I know. No, it might. You know, it might be a flood somewhere.
Oh no, we good. We good. Astros. Of course, lost yesterday, and they had a doubleheader because Friday's game in Detroit got rained out. So they split a doubleheader yesterday and lost the series.
They lost one up.
They lost the first and the last game to Detroit. They won the second, lost an extra inning. So they came one game short from tying the most wins in a row in franchise history. That streak was stopped at 11. But the Astros are still looking good, still rocking. And you know what? Guess what? Greinke on the mound tonight. I'm right there watching Greinke. So that means if Greinke on the mound, it's going to be a fast game. Strike 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, all the way on through. And we'll be home. We'll be home by 9 o'clock. Be home by 9.
Well, I'm going to be trying to find the Major League play because I just want to see Tatis play tonight. Well, that's all I'll be worried about. Tatis. But let's get out of here.
We up out here, guys. Once again, make sure you share the show on your way out the door. Shout out to Mr. White for the shirts today. Of course, you're watching, as I do every Monday. I'm rocking a different shirt, and it's One Trill Clothing. And give a shout out to them for supplying the Chop Shop with the shirts. Hal, I got one for you in my bag. I know what I like the font on this. This kind of gets good. I like the font.
It's 1-4 Trill. 1-4 Trill, Jim. That's a 1-4, ain't it?
Yeah, 1-4.
Okay. What's 1-4?
1-4. I don't know.
Oh, hold up. Tatis went off this weekend. Hold up. I got to go see the. Hold up, Jimmy. I'll see you later. I got to go see the highlights from Tatis. Mendes said he went off this weekend. I got to go see what he did.
He hit 3 home runs in one game. I mean, everybody.
Whoa, hold up. Has anybody on the Astros team hit 3 in one game? I got a question.
Who hadn't done that before, Adam? Come on.
Who?
Come on. 3
Give me one person. Give me one person on the Astros team. One.
You don't think that there's been no?
Give me one. I'm talking about this year right here. Give me one. Is there one? like the Rams said.
I think Carrera done that before.
Bye, man. I'll see y'all later, man. Right, well, see you later.
I think Carrera has done that before, and I'm not mistaken.
I can't wait till tomorrow. I got so much stuff.
I know Springer done it before for sure. Springer he might be the most recent, but I think Carrera done it as well. I know Springer done it before.
I'm talking about this year. I ain't talking about ancient history, man. I'm talking about Tatis did it last night. Don't. Hey, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to go listen to Anderson Paak. I'll see y'all later. We out here. Look at it. He mad.
And we up out here, man. Peace, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop.